Lincoln had it, and she let me go. That's my money. Very good. Yeah. I knew you did.
Ran into him the other day.
In the elevator?
Yep.
Yeah, I saw him a couple days. He works in the law office over there. Yeah, as a matter of fact, the Notre Dame guy I grew up with, he played with Dave Bass.
Yeah, I knew a lot of the Parkland kids back then. I keep with the people too until you went sixth grade.
Yeah.
In seventh grade, he was middle school, junior high stuff.
He brought him where he lived.
South Whitehall.
Okay, nice. So he went to Spring.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. For your pregame entertainment, Parkland High School is proud to present the 2024 edition of the Parkland High School Trojan Marching Band. Under the field direction of drum majors Caitlin Attia, Adeline Sistrom, and Andrew Rivera.
Hello, football fans! Welcome back to Parkland TV and Film. I'm Tegan Trumba.
And I'm Abigail Wood.
And tonight, we have the matchup that everyone's been marking their calendars for and waiting for. We got the 3-1 Parkland Trojans against the 3-1 Nazareth Blue Eagles. Both teams losing to the Freedom Patriots. Abby, how are you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling confident that both teams will pull up a good game tonight. We both know how last season went with them winning and losing against each other, especially in the district finals. So I think Parkland's going to come out with the mindset that they need to beat Nazareth, coming off of that really tough win from district finals. And I think Nazareth, in the back of their mind, knows that they have the ability to lose to Parkland due to their league game last year when they lost to them.
Yeah, so this is historically always a very, very competitive matchup. I think that every single time these two teams match up, it's a game that comes down to the wire. Obviously, we saw Nazareth pull out the win a little farther in that game in the district final last year, and obviously, unfortunately, Nazareth won. But the game before that, in the beginning of the season, I don't know what week it was, but Parkland won on the same stage in Orfield Stadium, red, white, and blue, with about 2 minutes left in the game.
Yeah.
I remember Luke Spang dropped back, threw a dime to Trey Tremba to win the game. Very exciting moment for me after I was almost crying when Trey fumbled. But my point is that these games between Nazareth and Parkland, always super competitive, and it comes down to the minute details of coaching and just who wants it more.
And I would say when we have these key players coming from Nazareth especially, we have the 4-star quarterback Peyton Falzone coming from Virginia Tech, and we have Newcomb going to Lafayette, and Marquise Wimberly, who previously was a Parkland football player, so you know there's going to be a little rivalry there in the sense, but he's a 3-star athlete. So when you have these really good players coming up of, I would say, a younger team, it's going to be it's probably going to be a dogfight, but it's going to be a really good game and a good matchup.
Yeah, so definitely some blood in the water a little bit there with Marquise. That's a very interesting story. For those of you who do not know, Marquise played at Parkland his freshman year on varsity, and then he transferred to Nazareth for his sophomore year and then now. And as you were saying, a lot of talent in this game. Obviously, Nazareth has 3 players who have multiple Division I offers. Payne Falzone committed to Virginia Tech. Parkland doesn't really have that this year. We saw last year, I felt like Parkland and Nazareth kind of evened each other out with that last year because, Nazareth had Sean Kinney, Mason Keener, who are both at Lafayette this year, and Caleb Newsom will be joining them next year. But Nazareth had Trey Trumbo, who's at West Point right now. They had Connor Johns, who's at University of Penn. And
Luke
they had
Spang.
Luke Spang went to Muhlenberg.
Yep.
But they also had another D1 commit who was he went to Lehigh.
Nolan
Cohen went to Lehigh. He's playing at Lehigh there. It's very cool to see Nolan and Trey play each other in the first game of the season of Army versus Lehigh. But my point, these teams even each other out with last year. That obviously they both lost a ton of seniors. I don't know how many seniors Nazareth had, but I know Parkland, they have 28 seniors, and I know we mentioned that last time we had a game here. But that is a lot of seniors to lose, and I think the talent I think Nazareth has a talent. Like, they have the edge in the talent in this game, and I think another thing is that Parkland usually struggles in the pass game, and we saw that the first game a little bit when we saw that, 60-yard touchdown throw. I mentioned that. Parkland historically struggles with that, and Nazareth has the 4-star quarterback who loves to sling the ball.
He has an arm. You've seen it. He posts about it. That's what he's known for, so Parkland should be going into the game looking to defend that. Another thing is Parkland should have this mindset that they lost in the district finals, so they need to reclaim. But also, Nazareth cannot get cocky and cannot think because they have all this talent and underestimate Parkland tonight. I think Parkland definitely has a lot to show, and through these past games, they're coming off of a win. Nazareth is coming off of a loss, so I think all these things could really affect tonight's game, but it will just come down to the wire like it usually does. So it'll be definitely interesting to see where these teams are at this early in the season, because usually they play each other, I would say, kind of later in the season.
Yeah.
So I think it's definitely nice to see where these teams will match up tonight.
Yeah, I'm sorry for all the Trojan fans watching if I seem like I'm siding with Nazareth a little bit. I'm not. There definitely is things going in Parkland's way, too. I think Parkland has the edge in terms of offensive line and defensive line. I know Nazareth basically lost their whole defensive line last year. That is one thing I know. They lost their whole line. And Parkland, we saw that first game. Parkland's run defense is very, very good. That's something that Parkland is always stellar at too. It never fails to impress me watching them how quickly they get to the ball and just snap on that quarterback or running back running right away. And that's why I think Nazareth's going to come out slinging it. I don't think there's going to be a lot of running. I think Nazareth's going to come out slinging the ball. Parkland's got to be prepared for that. They got to be ready for a tough battle. Both teams have to be ready for a tough battle. And I think they're ready for it.
I think they've been preparing for this game ever since they lost the district finals. I think right from that moment, they decided they're going to come out and win this game. So I really hope, sorry for any Nazareth fans watching, but I really do hope Parkland comes out with a bang and does, last time we commentated, like you said, that over-the-head arm that cost them that one touchdown. I really hope that we focus on that side of defense because we have such a lockdown defense in the other way.
Yeah. So, and also another thing that I do believe is obviously both of these teams are battling each other right now, but another battle that they're going for that's not on the field tonight is they're battling to beat Freedom really right now in the playoffs because both of these teams were beat by the Freedom Patriots. The Freedom Patriots are looking incredible this season. Have been very impressed with the highlights I've seen of them. Obviously, they both, I think the score was very similar between Parkland and Nazareth. Both
It
was like
was.
around, I think Nazareth may have
20s,
won like
30s.
30-10. I think Parkland it was like 35-14.
Yep.
So very, very similar scores. So that kind of tells us anything about the game. It's going to be close, as we're saying right now. But Abby, I know you had a very exciting week. You had an interview with Keith Groller and an interview with captain wide receiver Leo Doberman. How did that go?
The Keith interview was fantastic. So every year, if you don't know, you should go check it out on our YouTube. We do a preview show with Keith Groller on the morning call. He comes in and we talk about the games for this weekend and we really do a preview of it. Keith did say that Parkland was going to win tonight. So that just shows you how much faith and hope that we have in our team. So I thought that was really cool and a neat experience. And then later on in the week, I did interview Leo Doberman, which will be playing during halftime. And we just talked about the upcoming game and how he really got into football. His brother and his father are both in football, so that kind of encouraged him. He shared a really cool story about team bonding. I won't give too much away because you should come and really watch it, but he was great. He had great things to say about the team, and it was really nice. And he talked about the Nazareth game coming up. He has high hopes. He has mindsets for the team. He talked about all the captains and how really the captains have a really hard job keeping the team up. And he did talk about the chirping with the other team and how it will affect their game, but he said that shouldn't affect it too much.
Yeah. So definitely two amazing opportunities. I know it's always very cool to get into the mindset of the players and kind of, learning about the team. That's what all interviews I think try to do is learning about the player as a human, not just as a player, learning about them off the field, learning about, in the locker room about the team. And also, I love Keith Groller. He gave a lot of love to my brother when he was playing on the football field. I was able to do that last year. This year I was not able to because I wasn't at school that day. But I was supposed to. I watched you guys did an amazing job. Allie was the villain that day. She said Nazareth, so we'll see who was right, Abby and Keith or Allie Frederich.
I'm sticking with Parkland.
Yeah. But that is all we're going to say for now, and we will throw it to St. Luke's.
I believe that St. Luke's and our coaches are going to provide the safest and most comprehensive training environment that a student athlete would want. Hopefully they come to us and they leave and there's not another need to be filled. Your daughter or son's team can come to us and we provide it all.
On the ground, go!
The team atmosphere and the team that we have put together of sport performance coaches and athletic trainers is why parents should choose St. Luke's University Health Network for their sport performance needs.
There's not another orthopedic group, sports medicine group, healthcare system in the country that has high-level, degree certified, years of experience.
Bench, hip thrust, or floor, we know what block A is, and then we get another group of 7.
Certified athletic trainers and the performance coaches are assigned to schools and they are there and they are getting the teams and doing team training around sports schedules and the student activity schedules. That's primarily where it's done. We also provide training here, like at this facility. We provide a comprehensive training program that is the most up-to-date training advancements. It's the safest it can be.
We got our A walks. Remember, good.
It's not about gimmicks. our guys are all educated and have the science behind what they're doing, a rhyme or reason to what they're doing. And we have leadership that will make sure that we're going to provide the best service there is. We actually care about your kids.
Focusing on getting my butt back and my chest up.
People don't know how to use this stuff, and so you need someone to teach them and to help them navigate it in a way that's going to be productive, that's not going to hurt them.
They trust me to put together a workout, and they're always asking questions about it, which is great. You know, I wanted them to have that trust that, you know, I'm going to help them succeed on and off the court.
Every coach, every parent, they want what's best for their student. Okay? They want what's going to help them be the best version of themselves. And so that's what we can provide. I don't think there's anything in this area that can rival it.
Ladies and gentlemen, here come your Trojans. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's game is being covered by PAFootballNews.com. For a recap of tonight's game, go to PAFootballNews.com. PA Football News is your one-stop shop for everything high school football in Pennsylvania. You can follow them on Twitter at Football News, or again, go online at PAFootballNews.com. We got you covered. Ladies and gentlemen, as a special treat this evening, we welcome back Parkland cheerleading alumni from the class of 1976 to the class of 2024. They are on the track tonight cheering with our current cheerleaders. Don't forget the annual Parkland Pink Out game is on October 4th against Durham High School. The breast cancer awareness Pink Out shirts are being sold for $15 at the Parkland Cheer Booster Club snack stand. Head down now to buy your shirt. Don't forget to head over to the football concession stand during the game to satisfy your hunger and thirst. They will be serving burgers, Chick-fil-A sandwiches and nuggets, hot dogs, Philadelphia pretzel rivets, nachos with cheese, walk-in tacos, candy, and an assortment of beverages from A-Treat and Coke. Cash and Venmo accepted.
Do you go to them? Yeah. Is there a lot of people going to the show? It's funny, over the years I've seen them just less and less.
The Parkland School District is thrilled to announce that 2010 Parkland grad and former New York Giants NFL running back Andre Williams will be joining us for the homecoming game this October 4th. Don't miss your chance to meet this Trojan legend and grab a copy of his new book, After the Last Snap, When the Game Ends, Life Begins. Calling all former homecoming kings and queens, time to dust off those crowns and sashes for a grand reunion as we come together to celebrate Parkland's 75 years. You're invited to march on our annual homecoming parade during halftime at the football game on Friday, October 4th.
Some of them do, I know a couple. Yeah.
or whatever. Snap a knee.
Your captains for the Trojans, number 8, Parker Cusco. Number 14, Leo Dauberman. Number 71, Evan Saylor. Number 75, Mason Marks.
Just trying to think of more. I'm not good with names.
Nazareth wins the toss and declines. Parkland will accept the opening kickoff. Your officials for this evening's contest: referee Craig Mosser, umpire Michael Attia, linesman Tim Melnick, line judge Lee Williams, back judge Michael Lukac, field judge George Gazer, side judge Jim Joseph, 25-40 play clock operator Jim Soltitz.
All right, so we have had the coin toss now, folks, and we will set up for kickoff here to kick off this rivalry game. So, as we mentioned before, this is going to be a very close game in this rivalry game that we have here tonight. Very excited to see the outcome tonight.
Hi, I'm very excited for the players. I'm feeling the nerves, I'm feeling the chills right now. I'm sure the players feel the exact same way coming into this matchup. And I'm just nervous and excited.
So Parkland will start with the ball. Sorry, I was a little confused as starting the ball. We had some technical difficulties back here, so was focused on that. But Parkland will start the ball. Now Parkland, I feel like this is a very important possession for them. They want to get the momentum right off the bat on their first drive, whether that is returning this kickoff for a long return or scoring a touchdown on their first drive. But they want to get the momentum in this game right off the bat.
And we're off.
So Nas Adams will be the returner. And just like I said, he will get a good return, and that's what Parkland needs to get that momentum to win this game.
I will say, Nas is very short, but when he gets to it, he's an extremely fast player. He's only a junior, so he has one more year to see what is left to come, and look at him already.
He's definitely got that speed.
He does.
He's definitely got that speed. Another thing is, again, we'll see the play of Asmani Guzman. He's been doing an excellent job. You know, the season started off with a three-way quarterback competition, but Guzman's doing an excellent job of getting those wins for the Trojans. So we'll see how he does tonight. He'll motion TJ Lawrence out, and he'll be empty set, and it'll be incomplete attendant for TJ Lawrence.
I'm sure that doesn't feel great for the Trojans having their first pass be an incomplete, but I'm sure that they will get back on track.
Yeah, definitely not how they wanted to start off there on the first play. Another thing, it is start off your back night, so all these seniors are trying to represent who they, you know, they're people who motivated them to play hard and get into this game.
It's a nice tradition Parkland has, and I'm glad we're still doing it.
So the handoff will go to TJ Lawrence for a good couple of yards there, but not enough to get the first down.
Parkland will definitely be looking at TJ and Leo Dauberman to really be having these breaks in the offense.
Yeah, they're looking for those big plays from those two big playmakers. You know, that's what you're expecting from your leader. That's what you're expecting from your captains. And TJ is kind of being forced to step in that role as a sophomore. So deep pass from Guzman is incomplete. Attending for Nas Adams. Again, you're going to hear his name a lot tonight, I have a feeling. You know, it did look like there was a little bit of pushing going on there. And, like, maybe Parkland fans could disagree that the ref kind of didn't see that, but...
We have Blake Nazareth back tonight as a starter, as wide receiver, and we have him with TJ Lawrence, so it's always nice to see that double sophomore duo, I would say.
Yeah, so 2-back set here. Punt. And it will be returned. It'll be stopped quickly, and we'll see what we've been anticipating tonight. The big dog on campus right now, coming to Parkland, Payne Falzone, the Hokie, the future Hokie, and Parkland's gonna look to be stopping him. No, we should be playing some Enter Sandman right now. If you don't know, that's Virginia Tech's tradition, playing Enter Sandman. Very, very cool environment there, so I'm sure he's looking forward to that. Sorry, we're having technical difficulty, so we actually cannot do the game right now. All right, so it looks like Marquise Wimberly got the handoff, as we mentioned before. We'll be hearing his name a lot tonight. He was a Trojan, so he'll get the first carry on this game.
And I'm sure the Trojans feel the tension on the field already with him being a past Trojan, so I definitely think that has some effect on our game, but it's definitely interesting.
I mean, it definitely adds to the tension of our already tense game in this rivalry. So, Payne Falzone will fake the handoff. He's gonna roll out and get a little pass there off to number 0. And that will be good for a first down for Nazareth. And that is what Parkland wants to stop, and that is what I think Nazareth is looking for and wants more of, is Falzone rolling out, making those plays that really only a 4-star can make.
I definitely think they know where Parkland's weakness is.
Oh, and the ball was fumbled there on the snap, but Nazareth recovers. Or no, Parkland does have the ball. So big turnover there for some momentum from Parkland, and big mistake from the Eagles.
I'm sure this feels great for Parkland, especially with their rocky start. So I'm hoping that they can get that momentum up and really go for a good game so far.
You know, and I think that's going to be an important thing tonight. The offense wasn't really able to get anything started on that first drive, but Parkland's defense is bringing that energy on the first thing, forcing getting that fumble recovery. Sometimes you just got to get lucky. There was a fumbled snap there. As we mentioned, this line for Nazareth is young, so that's the advantage Parkland has tonight. They got to try to use that advantage to their fullest. So Guzman will motion Nas Adams. He'll take it, but he will be stopped immediately, and the whistle will be blown.
Earlier you saw our Trojan pack. That's all our students coming out in red, white, and blue USA theme to come support our team tonight.
Yeah, another weird thing that Parkland's kind of having to adjust to this year is there's only 4 home games. So every home game there's an event. We saw last game, it was
youth night.
Yeah, youth night, and tonight we had Shut Off Your Back night. So, that's definitely very strange.
And next game we have our homecoming night.
Yeah. So Reed Andros motioning to be a blocker. The handoff will be to TJ Lawrence, and TJ Lawrence is going to take this for a nice little run here. He will get the first down.
That's definitely what we would be expecting from TJ Lawrence, as just such a big player in Parkland's plan so far through this season. So it's great seeing him get some downs.
Yeah. I feel like historically speaking, just every Parkland running back is just a workhorse, and TJ Lawrence definitely fits that.
He definitely had to step up to the plate this year, and he's doing a fantastic job doing it.
Yes, Lawrence got the ball there again, but not as lucky as last time. Didn't get a first down. So Guzman and Lawrence in the backfield, looking to put in the end zone here on 2nd and 1. Guzman with the keeper. And he'll get a good amount of yardage. And it will be 3rd and short. Parkland trying to keep the chains rolling here. Trying to put 6 on the board before Nazareth can. 3rd and 3 as we see the nice keep there by Guzman. You know, that's another thing that Guzman has been doing a great job, making those decisions in the offense. It's a very important thing in this run game.
Speaking of the first touchdown, I feel like that would definitely play a huge role in this game, whoever does get that first one. So looking
Guzman pass to Preston Mertz. Oh, and a body slam there, WWE style. Gonna be some type of flag there, you would think, but I think the referees aren't gonna say anything.
I mean, what are we expecting in such a tight game like this? There's gonna be tension, there's gonna be turmoil, and just seeing it.
So handoff to Leo Doberman. Brought down quickly. And Preston Mertz, I believe he had 2 touchdowns last game against Pleasant Valley. So Parkland, very good game last week against Pleasant Valley, getting a blowout win. So that, you know, fed the momentum a little bit.
Yeah, Preston had 2 touchdowns, 145 yards, and Leo had 145 yards and 1 touchdown. So definitely seeing these seniors come out to play tonight will be very important.
All right, so Parkland facing a 3rd and 8 here on their 2nd drive of this game. Guzman Lawrence in the backfield. Handoff to Lawrence. He will not get the first down. That'll bring up 4th down, or maybe will. It was 3rd and 3. So it's 4th and 1 here for the Trojans. But Coach Munchman, he's going for it. He's taking that risk. That is what you want to see if you're a Parkland fan. You want to see them not settling for 3. You want to see them trying to put 6 on that board, taking them risks in this high-stakes game. As we mentioned before, this is pretty much not just for the win, this is for the playoffs. Who's going to beat Freedom is the question. Another handoff to Lawrence. And he'll definitely get the first down, putting Trojans closer to that goal line.
This game will be just inching and inching, I feel like, towards the line and how they're going to attempt this. I don't think they're going to end up passing it. I feel like they're going to utilize TJ Lawrence to the best of his ability and really run it in.
So, handoff to Leo Doberman in that Army-style 3-back set that we've seen Parkland going on, but not enough to get in that end zone. We do hear that Leo, you know, he might have a little hurt ankle. I don't know if that's out there, but that is what we are getting from our little insight we have here. So we'll bring up 2nd and 5 for the Trojans. Need to get in the end zone here. Handoff to TJ Lawrence. And he's going to put 6 on the board for the Trojans. Touchdown, Parkland. Woohoo!
That's definitely a great feeling for Parkland coming off of a win, and now they're bringing that win energy into the game tonight.
You know, and the thing that you kind of mentioned before, Parkland, they got the positive vibes going on right now. Nazareth probably has a little bit of, you know,
their body language, they're already being defeated.
They probably have a little bit of less confidence going into this game just because they lost last week. Parkland, they did lose to Freedom too, but that was, you know, their 2nd week. So, you know, they are probably a little down now coming off a loss instead of Parkland coming off a dominating win. Definitely does more for your confidence. And confidence is a big thing just as an athlete in your mental state. You know, you can lose the game before you even step on the field just by not being confident in yourself and in your play. And that's what I believe we're kind of seeing tonight. Parkland going on the board for us. We got 7-0 with almost 5 minutes left to play in the first quarter. No, Nazareth, I think, had 3 offensive plays So not really any opportunities for the Nazareth offense.
And speaking of confidence, there can be a lack of confidence, but I also feel like there could be an overconfidence in a sense, knowing that we don't maybe have the key players like we did last year, and Nazareth has those players. I definitely feel like Nazareth could be maybe a little overconfident that they might get this win against Parkland, and Parkland just showed them, don't underestimate us. We are a force to be reckoned with.
I think as an athlete, there is a healthy balance of never getting too high and never getting too low. And that's what everybody tries to balance. And that mental game is definitely hard to fight as a player. So Doug Bell will kick it off after the Trojans put on a touchdown on the board. And the return for Nazareth, and a great wrap-up tackle there for almost a little yards. That was Omar Mowad on the tackle. If you didn't know, Mowad, he's the president in the senior class, so that's kind of cool. Got a Parkland football player who's the senior class president. So Nazareth will come out for their second drive of this game, looking to respond quickly here, not letting Parkland getting out too much in front. Hand off, but that, like we said, that Parkland run game all over it.
Parkland just shuts it down, and I feel like they do almost every game when any team attempts to do this. So Nazareth really should be looking to have Peyton with his arm. They shouldn't be looking to run it.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that, Nazareth was really going to be airing it out tonight in the pass game. And we see here, Peyton Falzone has an empty backfield, so definitely going to be a pass. We'll see him roll out. Little pass there, but it's dropped by Wimberly. That will bring up a third down already for the Nazareth Blue Eagles. Parkland trying to force a 3 and out here on Nazareth's second drive. They haven't even, I think they've gotten 1 first down so far.
Wimberly got stopped in the first, and now he's fumbling. It seems like the heat might be really getting to him.
Yeah, definitely probably a very challenging environment for him to play in. Coming back to Parkland. So Wimberly in the backfield with Falzone. Falzone's trying to make something happen here. He is a playmaker. Falzone.
They're looking to use his arm.
Fires, and it is, I believe it is, it's complete for a first down, but that was a great hit by whatever Parkland player that was.
And the catch was thrown to Luke DePietro, who got rocked by Parkland.
Yeah, so that is just a difference I think that we see with Falzone. He's very patient making his reads, and he always makes the right decision. He got the first down there. Didn't succumb to the pressure. Not doing that either right now. He's going to avoid some tackles and get some yardage there where he really had no options.
With Falzone, I feel like you never really know what he's going to do, and I feel like that's what makes him such a key player, is he has so many tricks in his book. He can throw it, he can dodge, he can really do a lot of things, so it's going to definitely keep Parkland's defense on their toes, but it seems like Parkland's doing a great job adjusting to it.
Yeah, you really got to be careful. He has a rocket of an arm, but he can, run too.
Seems like he was trying to do a pass to Marquise, and it just was incomplete again.
Slipped out of his hand. So like I'm saying, he's very mobile. He's not afraid to roll out. That's what we see these very high-level quarterbacks do. We see them roll out and make plays on their own, not just sitting in the pocket. And when you're a mobile quarterback, you have an advantage because you're very hard to stop when you're mobile. You allow your receivers and your offense to make plays off of what you are doing, and not just the initial play that you're doing. You will allow yourself so many more options. So
looking to
Falzone with some pressure. Will be complete to Wimberly, and Wimberly will get some yardage here. He's looking to go to the end zone, and he might get in the end zone. Touchdown, Nazareth.
That will definitely be a hard hit for Parkland right now. Having, especially I would say Marquise with that touchdown is definitely not the best feeling that the Trojans need, but I definitely see a comeback.
Yeah, so that's what I'm talking about. We saw Parkland put all the pressure there on Falzone. He wasn't scared to just sit back in that pocket. That's what we see. Like I'm going to say it again. That's what we see these high-level quarterbacks do. They're also not scared to be patient. He's very patient. I'm really seeing that tonight, how patient he is making his reads, seeing what he has. And the kick is no good, so Parkland will still maintain that lead 7-6 here, even though they did put a touchdown on the board.
Like we said, it's going to be a tight game. I would definitely see some back and forth is probably going to happen in this game, and it's just who stays in the right mindset and who doesn't get defeated.
Yeah, it's going to be a back and forth game, as we already see, but a missed field goal can be the difference between a win and a loss here for the Blue Eagles, and they just made a crucial mistake here.
They've been making a couple crucial mistakes, I will say.
These games come down to the minute details and the little mistakes that turn into big mistakes, like a missed field goal, a fumble that gave Parkland the ball to score a touchdown. That's definitely something that Coach Falzone is not happy about for the Blue Eagles, but that is what's giving Parkland the advantage right now. So Parkland will get the ball back, trying to respond here, keeping their lead. They're up by 1 right now with almost 3 minutes remaining in your first quarter of play. So Adams will be the return man here. Oh, I'm sorry, that was... And that was a good return there. The Parkland offense will come back out, but I do believe there was some penalty flags on the play. And I'm sorry, that was Naquan Thompson there, not Nassim Adams. But although very good return there, that'll give Parkland some great yardage, but we'll see where the penalty flag is on. It doesn't seem like they're pushing Parkland back so far. There seems to be a little confusion on the field, so. Anyways, even if, Parkland, they really got to lock in here and get this drive going. They got to, put some more points on the board. They got to attack Nazareth head on. Make sure that they are not falling behind. You want to keep on putting points on the board. You don't want to be the one who's making mistakes and all of a sudden you're down 14 points, down 2 touchdowns.
And it will be those tiny mistakes that will end up being the downfall for one of these teams. It's a game where any mistake matters. Certain games you can make a mistake and it probably wouldn't matter, but in this game, mistakes are what's life and death.
Yeah, so if you're looking here, it looks like there is the penalty is on the Trojans. I mean, it seems like they're arguing about it. It's a very long conversation, so I do not know what's going on. But despite all that, we'll see where the Trojans start out. We do know they'll get the ball, and Guzman, he's doing a pretty good job of running in this game so far. I've been impressed with how he's controlling the offense, in this high stakes game. A lot of pressure on him as the quarterback in this rivalry game. And also, you're going against a 4-star quarterback. That's got to get in his head a little bit, as he was, probably definitely overshadowed by a big player this game. So there was a holding call on the Trojans. So the kick will be redone, and Nazareth will move the ball up on the return, or redo the return. So we'll redo.
And this will be Christian Kelly kicking.
So this time it will be Nas Adams, I'm correct, this time on the return. And Adams is going to try to look for a hole. He's going to take it out to about the 25-yard line. Good return there by Adams.
Adams seems to be a very key player tonight, and I feel like we haven't heard his name a lot, but tonight he is making himself known.
I've been very impressed. A very important part of a football team is having good return people who you need that good field position when you're bringing your offense out. You don't want to already be starting, you don't already want to be starting with bad field possession and being down before the drive even starts. So Guzman Lawrence in the backfield. It will be a keeper by Guzman. He'll get about 4 yards on the carry there.
Seems like energy is high for the Trojans. I just hope they keep this up.
Yeah, and if I think you're Parkland, for me, I feel like you want to try to run the plays a little more quickly. Plays are very slow, I would say.
It's giving Nazareth time to set up their defense to see what Parkland's offense is going to do.
That's what we've seen typically as a Parkland. That's what Parkland typically does. But another handoff to Lawrence. He might get the first down here or be very close to it.
Has he made all of our first downs?
I don't think he has made all the first downs. We did have I know we had a first down by Preston Mertz.
Yes.
Like a cat, So 3rd and 1 here. Big play here already on this drive. But with TJ Lawrence and Osmani Guzman, I don't doubt that we will get this with our strong run game. And I think that's what we were talking about, Nazareth's passing. I think our strength is our run game. And Nazareth's weakness is their youth on their line. So I think that's what we're going to be attacking. And as I'm speaking, we see TJ Lawrence with a nice carry for the first down.
I mean, Parkland's run game has always been really good. I feel like that's what we're known for more. We're not really known for passing. So having TJ Lawrence step up this year and be good at the run game just to have is really nice, and you can clearly see. And it's definitely interesting to see how two teams have two different approaches and things, and how it can really work out for either way.
Yeah, sure. Throw here by Guzman.
And there goes Lawrence.
Pass to Lawrence. We'll get some good yardage there, but be dragged out of bounds by 2 Eagles. Another thing that I've noticed about this Parkland offense is you see how much motion there is at the line. You see Reed Andrus going in motion a lot, TJ Lawrence. We see Nas Adams, Leo Doberman. There's a lot of motion. They're trying to confuse the defense a lot because they're a very run-dependent team, especially this year. So they're trying to confuse the defense as much as they can. So handoff to Lawrence again. He will get the first down on 2nd down. So almost 1 minute remaining in this game. We got a first down for the Trojans. Lawrence is going to get a little break here. Thompson will come in. We got Naquan Thompson in the backfield with Guzman. Guzman, quick pass. It will be complete for a good gain for the Trojans. That was Doberman on the catch. We've seen Doberman making some great plays for the Trojans as the captain this year.
He's one of 5 captains, he said in his interview, and he does a really good job of explaining how each captain is really motivating and has stepped up to their role as captains, and they've just been gelling together, creating this new team. And he really explains how all 5 of the captains do such a great job at being captains.
Yeah, with the loss of 28 seniors last year on that team, it's definitely very important that you have that leadership and you don't lose the team morale and the bonds and the team kind of strength as a brotherhood on the team. You want to keep that even if all of your seniors are gone, and you want to keep that leadership. So I think it's amazing that Parkland still has that this year, and I think that Parkland has always been doing a good job of that, of finding good leaders to lead this team, to be captains, to make sure that this team knows who they are. Parkland, we have a strong reputation here in football, and I think the football team does that. So that's the end of, we are going in the 2nd quarter here, and the game, it is, Parkland is up by 1 single point that could be very costly for the Blue Eagles. We see the score is 7-6, both teams scoring 2 touchdowns. Again, a very crucial mistake by the Blue Eagles. It was a bad snap, and Falzone was unable to recover it. And the Trojans got on it quickly.
That just shows even the best of players, a 4-star recruit, can make mistakes that are so crucial.
So Guzman in the backfield with Naquan Thompson. Guzman will motion Nas Adams.
And we got the fake handoff.
Fake jet sweep, but Nazareth is on Napa. Guzman's going to fight for some extra yards. Good fight there by the senior.
That's what we're looking for. We need that fight in Parkland, and I think Parkland tonight is bringing that fight.
In games like this, every inch, every yard, every first down, every mistake matters. So great to see Guzman fighting for that first down there.
It's great seeing him stepping up too. I know, like you said, there was 3 people, but he's doing a great job leading this offense, especially tonight.
So Thompson will stay in. They'll motion Reed Andrus to be the blocker. And motion Adams. Fake pass. Guzman's going to take a shot downfield, and it will be incomplete. Nazareth was draped all over that pass.
It was a good look, though, and I feel like Parkland should be looking to do some more of those plays just to spice it up a bit in what they do.
I believe that was intended for Leo Doberman, but just slipped through his hands. That was a great coverage there by the Eagles, and that's another thing that the Nazareth Blue Eagles are very strong at. They have a very good pass defense. I've always been impressed with how they can cover the passes, and very good cornerbacks. So Nazareth loading the box here, anticipating the run. Motion Andrush. Hand off to Lawrence, and Lawrence will get a good amount of yards. Watching this, I'm kind of getting a little bit of deja vu how they're loading up the box, because that is what they did in the district championship. They just basically aimed at Trey Tremba and said, okay, try to run it. We're going to put every single guy on you, Trey. And it became very difficult for them. And then, they were forced to pass, and unfortunately, Parkland did not come on top of that game. So, hopefully Parkland is able to circum that tonight if that's Nazareth's plan.
With knowing that, though, and knowing how they did that to Trey and how much we rely on TJ like we relied on Trey, I feel like Parkland definitely has some plans shown of other plays they could use, just knowing that Nazareth has that attack plan and could do that, and that was their downfall last time.
So on 3rd and 6, or it will be 3rd and 3. Lawrence is unable to get the first down on 2nd down, but I think they'll go right back to him. Also, Burden is there as the tight end blocker. Guzman, quick pass to Nas Adams,
and that'll be another fumble.
So good coverage again there by the Eagles. That slipped right through Adams' hands. But we see, Parkland, you can't be predictable. They went to the same spot in that pass play. This, basically a couple plays separated that, but you don't want to become too predictable and do the same thing. You want to try to not make it easy for the Eagles to know what you're going to do.
And that's on Nazareth, number 3, sophomore Lance Zurcher, who's all over that, and he was all over the first one too. So knowing that, maybe they shouldn't have went with that play, like you said, repeating it.
Yeah, so pardon me, but that actually was a turnover of downs for the Trojans. So big mistake there. And now bring out the Nazareth offense and Payne Falzone again. So Falzone, he's going to fire, and it will be complete for a Eagles first down.
Just seeing that arm, I think that was his first pass that was really, truly, that shows his capability, and I'm sure that's not great for the Trojans.
Yeah, that pass was a bullet there. Receiver's hands are definitely hurting after that one. Hand off here, but again, the Trojan run defense is all over that ball. So, again, Nazareth, I keep on wondering why. I mean, you got to drag them in a little bit, make them think you're going to run, but go to the pass more, spread it out. I mean, it's working every single time. Falzone's, he's making these plays easily, in my opinion. So Falzone and Wimberly in the backfield. Little motion for Nazareth.
Hand off to
Falzone's
Wimberly.
going to be the keeper, and he's going to be dragged down. Great play there by the Trojan pass run defense. As we mentioned all night, 3rd and 9 for the Blue Eagles. All right, so 3rd and 9 for the Blue Eagles. Falzone with all the time in the world. He fires and it's it's incomplete. I thought they had that. But great coverage there by Naz Adams.
Naz is on fire tonight.
Yeah, we're not trying to annoy you by saying his name too much. He's just making all the plays.
Hey, he's doing a great job.
Yeah. Yeah, you need those players that are going to be your playmakers who are going to contribute. As we saw there, though, little too much time there to, to sit back there for Falzone. But it will force the Blue Eagles to punt the ball here. And Falzone's also the punter here for the Blue Eagles. So.
I always say Naz is small but mighty.
Yes, definitely. So Adams on the recovery looks like he fumbled it a little bit, bobbled it back. So the Trojan will come out with, not great field position, but, at least they didn't, the Blue Eagles not put points on the board. So Parkland still with the lead, 7-6, with 8 minutes remaining until half.
Definitely being in a situation like this where the score is just so close, both teams are just probably hoping to be the one to get the next touchdown before the half.
Yeah, and so far I've been very impressed. I don't want to jinx it, but I've been very impressed with how the Parkland, defense has been able to kind of maintain Falzone. Obviously, it's very difficult when you're going against, a caliber quarterback as him. But, I'm going to bring it. One time LeBron James said, you can't stop Stephen Curry, you can only contain him. So I think that's kind of what the Trojans are doing. So
They're doing
pitch
a great
here
job.
to Naquan Thompson. No go for a little gain.
And especially, like you said, having a quarterback like that, he just has so many plays he does and so many different things. But I feel like the Trojans are really doing a good job adapting to it as a defense, especially when some of the things like passing isn't our strong suit with defending. I feel like we're doing a good job stopping the ball.
I mean, and you also know that is what the Parkland coaching staff, they've probably been game planning for Falzone before this season has even started. So they're definitely prepared. They've been hearing his name probably since the beginning of August. So handoff here for Parkland. It will go get them some yards, but it will be 2nd down and 5. So the Blue Eagles defense is very stout here. They're not letting Parkland, get off easy. Plays coming in. It will be, Guzman and Lawrence in the backfield. Guzman.
Hand off to Lawrence.
Quick juke, but he will go nowhere. So good job by the Nazareth Blue Eagles defense.
Nazareth was all over that one.
And that will bring up 4th down for the Trojans. And it looks like the Blue Eagles, the Trojans offense is going to stay on the field, but they'll punt the ball away. So not a very productive drive there for the Trojans, as they'll be forced to punt in their own 20-yard line. So if you're Parkland, that is not what you wanted there. You wanted to be able to, get a little edge on the Blue Eagles in points, but they were not able to do that there. And now Nazareth will get good field position on around the 50. So Parkland, this is what you kind of don't want. You don't want to give this offense good field position. They've got playmakers all over the field. So this is definitely not, not a good start here on this drive for the Trojans.
There's been a lot of turnovers too, I feel like, this game that both teams do not want in these situations.
So this Blue Eagles offense coming out under the lights. Falzone with an empty backfield. Telling the Trojans that they're throwing this ball. Oh, he's pressured but scrambles out and is swatted down. Incomplete pass.
That was great pressure by Parkland's defense. They expected him to dodge and they got him to fumble the ball.
But we just see how easily, Falzone was easy to just juke that Parkland defender. That is what makes him different, but unfortunately it was incomplete. Good job there by the middle linebacker, TJ Lawrence, making that play to swat that ball down.
It's great seeing that TJ can both play offense and defense too, especially for the Trojans.
And linebacker is a very important position for this Parkland team. They take great pride in that position on this team. So Wimberly in the backfield with Falzone. Falzone's gonna pass again. Quick pass here to Wimberly, but he'll be wrapped up by Parker Cusco.
That's exactly what the Parkland Trojans needed to shut them down.
And they're gonna lose some yardage here, I believe. Put them behind the markers on 3rd down. It was a loss before there. That was a great play by the senior captain, Cusco. Seeing him get on that ball right away. That's what you want to see as a Parkland fan. You want to see this defense reacting that way. Falzone drops back, looking, scrambling. He's going to throw it deep, and it's intercepted by Cusco! Parker Cusco with 2 big plays in a row. He's going to return this.
That is a great play by the Parkland Trojans. I guarantee that they're fired up. That's the mistake that Nazareth cannot make in this game right now, and they just gave up the ball again.
So great play there by Parker Cusco, but another thing that Parkland's got to pay attention to is Falzone. He's got a cannon for an arm, as you see there. He threw that thing about 40 yards, and it looked like he didn't even put any effort into it. But that's also as Falzone, you got to know how to control that as a quarterback, and that's something that Virginia Tech's probably looking at a little bit right now at that interception. Falzone was pressured, and he kind of just fired, and it didn't really look like, unless there was a miscommunication, it didn't really look like anybody was there.
It almost looked like he was intending the pass for Parker Cusco.
Yeah. So there is a flag on their return, though, so it will look like Parkland will be backed up and not start with good field position after the interception. But great back-to-back plays there by Cusco. We got the wrap-up tackle and then the interception on the 4-star QB. So Parkland's offense will come back ready to work. You got Guzman and Lawrence in the backfield.
I know we talked about not having the key players the same as Nazareth, but I feel like a lot of players like Nas, TJ, and now Parker are really making a name for themselves tonight and doing a great job.
So good little run there for Lawrence on the first play of the drive. Nazareth has been doing a good job of not letting the Parkland Trojans getting those boom plays there, those big plays in the run game.
And that was number 17, Logan Smith on the tackle.
So fake jet sweep here for Parkland, and Guzman will take it for a little bit of yards, but that was a great hit there in the backfield if you didn't see that.
Yeah, that was by number 55, Mitchell Norski on Nazareth. Oh, right to Nas.
Got laid out on that play.
Sure, that's not a great hit to take, but it's better than
Yeah, but he
having to hit
definitely,
at the ball.
Guzman definitely did a good job of faking that there. All right, so Guzman in the backfield. And he may have drawn that D-line offsides. So false start on the Blue Eagles, big mistake there. And that will give them 5 yards.
It's these little mistakes that the Nazareth team keeps making that keeps almost doing damage to them.
Yeah.
They can't be having this.
Those mistakes pile up, and that was a good job by Guzman. So Guzman's going to keep the ball there on the jet sweep. He will get little yardage there. But like I was saying, that's another talent that you guys have as a quarterback, is drawing that D-line offside, and that's another thing of, you know, this offense, this D-line for Nazareth isn't as experienced as Parkland. You know, they have a lot of young kids. I think they lost their full D-line last year and O-line, so Parkland has that advantage I've been continuing to mention tonight. So Guzman drops back, fires, and it was intended for Nas Adams, but good play there by the Nazareth defense. It will be incomplete. So Parkland really hasn't been able to get anything going here in the pass game.
Nazareth number 3 has really been a good job defending our pass games a lot.
Good play there, not to be pass interference, but waiting till the ball gets to him and then kind of just clamping down on him.
They're prepared.
Yeah, so Nazareth, Parkland facing a 2nd and 10.
And a pass off.
And TJ Armby's wrapped up right away.
They lost yardage there by number 55, Mitchell Zarowski.
Yeah, so we see him get to the ball quickly on 2 plays in this drive. Good job by Zarowski there.
And 77, Anthony DeFrancisco. Sorry if I'm getting those names wrong.
Yeah, so Parkland will lose 3 yards on this play. They're faced with a 3rd and 13 here. Big play here. You got to make a play happen and get that first down. And they're drawing offsides again. We'll get a 3-5 yards. Thank you very much, Nazareth.
Something must be going in the Nazareth waters right now. They must be in their heads or something, because having these mistakes they cannot have.
That's just a great job there by the whole Parkland team just to stay steady, draw that Parkland or that Nazareth D offsides, and now they'll get a free 5 yards and they'll be a little closer to that first down marker. So they'll face a 3rd and 8, which still isn't comfortable, but a lot more manageable than 3rd and 13.
Not what Nazareth is looking for the last 2 minutes of the first half.
So Guzman's been doing an excellent job of being that manager on the field tonight. As we see, Parkland was struggled to find who was going to be that guy in the beginning of the season. Big quarterback competition. So it looks like they were just trying to draw them offsides, but they'll call a timeout with 1 minute and 37 seconds remaining until the halftime break.
This is definitely a tight game like we predicted. What do you think the outcome's going to be seeing it so far, Tegan?
So far, I feel like this has been a very tight game. Nazareth has been contained. Their offense has been contained. We've been able to, not let them make those big back-to-back plays that's, allowing them to put up 30, 40 points on the board, before you're even heading to the locker room. So I'm very impressed with this Parkland defense so far. I think Parkland, the offense, has been doing a good job of, continuing to run that ball. The run game is very reliable so far, but honestly, historically speaking, I think that Nazareth does a very, very good job of halftime adjustments, and I think they're going to be looking at this game and say, okay, we need to go to the pass more on offense. We need to spread the ball out more. We need to block for pin foul zone a little bit better. Just get quick passes out to Marquise, to Newsome. And if Nazareth does that, I think they'll come on top. But so far, I think Parkland, if they continue on this trend, we might be able to get this win.
Like you said, they do make good adjustments, but it seems like tonight the Parkland's defense has also been doing a lot of adaptations to foul zone, so hopefully they can just keep that up, and even if Nazareth makes those kind of tweaks in their game, they can just keep containing them, which would be a big goal for Parkland, I feel like, that we've struggled with in finally connecting this season.
So Parkland is going to go for on 4th and 1 here. They on 3rd and 8 they handed it off and they got 7, so they'll be faced with a 4th down and 1. Big play here. They're trying to keep the chains moving with 1 minute remaining. Trying to get a little more ahead. Nazareth does get the ball at, coming out of the locker room. Nazareth will get the ball. So you want to try to not allow Nazareth to get, if they're able to come out of the locker room and get a touchdown, you want to try to prevent that. Keep that lead, keep that comfortable lead here, as they're only up 1. It'll be another timeout. They're trying to manage this clock here with 51 seconds left to go. And they're about at the 50-yard line, so they got a little ways to go.
We know that Parkland has a good rushing game and running game, so with being about 50 yards, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with the little time that they do have. What would you say, the best play for them to make right now is, because with their passing plays, they're getting stopped by Nazareth.
Yeah, I think that right now you have to, I know they've been struggling right now to pass the ball against this Nazareth pass game, but that's what you kind of have to do. There's, with 51 seconds left and going into half, you really can't run the ball much as they would like to and drag that clock out, because you don't have enough time to run that many run plays, because Nazareth's been doing a good job of not allowing them to get long run plays. They've been getting the first down, but they're taking, getting 3 yards, chipping away at that first down instead of getting, 10, 20, 15 yards each play. So they're going to have to air the ball out a little bit here right now. But we see a 3-back set here, which I believe is Reed Andrus and Lawrence with Guzman. And it looks like they'll go into and they draw them offside again.
Parkland is definitely doing a good job utilizing Nazareth's weaknesses and really exploiting them right now. And I feel like this is so crucial for Parkland. They needed this, and Nazareth is honestly just feeding into it.
So, for my interpretation of that play, it looks like I was wrong. That was TJ Lawrence at the Wild. He was a Wildcat there, Wildcat quarterback, and they were trying to run a little Philly, or not Philly, but a brotherly shove there. They're doing a brotherly shove there, trying to get that first down.
I think the word you're looking for is Philly special, what they were doing.
But now we'll have Guzman come back on 1st and 10. So that was a great play by them. If you're Nazareth, that's definitely something that Coach Falzone is going to get on them about at halftime in the locker room. They have had, I think, 3 offsides calls. So that's giving Parkland, giving Parkland a free 15 yards there. And if they get in the end zone here, that is something that you can just not allow as a defense.
Also, it's a mistake not even playing. It's honestly a mental mistake that they just cannot be making right now.
So Guzman he fired for Preston Mertz, but Mertz was not able to haul it in, and it will be incomplete and bring up 2nd and 15. So there must have been a call there on the Trojans after the fact, because they're 2nd and 15, so they were drawn back 5 yards.
Both teams making crucial mistakes. If Mertz would have caught that pass, I feel like we could have been in a better position than we are right now, but we still have so much.
So Guzman firing, and it will be TJ Lawrence on the catch, as he's not only been running the ball, but he can catch the ball too. Going out there for a little route and getting some good yardage there for the first down. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Trojans with 30 seconds left to go in this until halftime, and Guzman's going to do a quick spike to stop the clock.
We've said this from the beginning. We've said this from the first game. TJ Lawrence is a force to be reckoned with, and just looking at it from tonight, he can do more than he can do defense, he can run, and he can catch passes, and it's honestly just refreshing to see for Parkland to have.
Yeah, you want that elusive running back. So Reed Andrus will be in the backfield with Guzman. Look, he's probably just going to be a blocker here on the pass play. Guzman's going to fire in the end zone, and it is incomplete.
Nazareth is doing a good job with their defense on our passes, I will say. So maybe, I think that's the third time we've sent it down there for passing. Parkland should be looking at maybe a different play.
You know, for me, I think the best plays are, trying to get those routes in the middle of the field, like we saw Lawrence on there. He was in the middle of the field. Guzman was able to fire. You don't really want to be close to that sideline because it's hard to make plays there, and it's easier to stop it for the defense. So Guzman's going to fire again with 30 seconds left. He's going to keep it, and he's going to go out of bounds on 3rd down and 10.
Interesting play by Guzman, I will say. He's doing a good job adapting to what Nazareth's defense is shutting down, which I think is new for him.
I mean, it was a smart play there. He's making that smart quarterback play there, the high IQ play. He didn't see anything, so he, tucked the ball and got that 1st down. Got it to bounds, stopped the clock with 24 seconds left to go. So Guzman will fire again, and it is in the back of the end zone over TJ Lawrence.
That is definitely not what Parkland is looking for right now, but we still have 3 more downs and 20 seconds left, so hopefully we can pull out a pass here.
So another thing I'd like to mention, if you see number 7 Blake Nassery out there, he was one of the people who was in the quarterback competition, so it's great to see him, kind of change to wide receiver and get on that field. Kind of exemplifies how great of an athlete is he. He's a very good football player, or basketball player.
And that was Leo Dauberman with the catch.
Dauberman was able to get that good catch with 14 seconds left. Parkland's got to be quick to get to the line and to get this play going. Actually, I think Nazareth or Parkland may have taken a timeout there with 3rd and 2. But like I said, Nassery, great athlete. He was on that state team that went to the state championship for Parkland on defense. So it's amazing to see, you never want to just see kids, sit the bench. So it's amazing for him to get on the field, to find his way, to be that, elusive athlete. But let's talk about the game now. So Parkland, they have 14 seconds left, 3rd and 2. They need to get in the end zone here, obviously. They're trying to be ahead by more than a touchdown going into halftime. They got to throw the ball in the end zone. They got to get some good blocks for Guzman. Obviously, it looks like they've been very challenged right now. They're having a difficult time in the pass game. But Nazareth, they know what they got to do. They know they got to defend the pass. So they're expecting it. So that makes it even more difficult. So this is where you want to see Guzman making those smart plays here for the Trojans.
Like you said, Nazareth is expecting it because there's only so little we can do with so little time. So knowing this, it definitely makes Nazareth's job a little easier defending.
So it looks like there's offside on this play, and it was 3rd and 2. So if that was the Trojans, it was a false start on the Trojans. So that's a crucial mistake because that will drop the back 5 yards. So now Parkland and Nazareth has been kind of canceling each other out now with the false starts and offsides plays. So now Parkland will be drawn back to a 3rd and 7 with 14 or 13 seconds remaining.
It's weird to see because I feel like both of these teams in the past have not struggled with false starts and offsides so much. And it's definitely interesting to see in such a high-intense game how things like little mistakes that they don't really make in usual games can come out.
Yes, now Parkland will go for the field goal, and it was Doug Bell on the kick, and he's going to put that through the uprights. And it's good with 7 seconds left to go. Good kick there by Bell to put the Trojans up 10-6. Trojans advance the lead to 4.
That was a great play, I would say, by the coaches and the Trojans, knowing that their passing game isn't the best. So having a great kicker, Doug Bell, which we know he's done great in the past. He had 100% accuracy last game in his stats. Having him as an asset is really important, and just getting those little points, like you said earlier, like that one field goal, is really important in a game like this. Maybe not having a touchdown, but at least being up by 4 could make or break Nazareth and Parkland.
Yeah, I think that was smart of them. They weren't really advancing the ball at all with the pass. They were kind of struggling to, advance the ball and get in the end zone. It was 13 seconds left. It could have gone, south. They could have gone interception or something. So very good, smart play there by the coaching staff. You don't want to see them get out coached. So I'm proud of the Parkland coaching staff doing a great job here tonight so far, with 9 seconds left to go until the halftime break. So, Nazareth will probably just come out here, kneel it. They don't want to risk anything. And, right now, Parkland has been doing a great job of just, maintaining this lead. I think this is what Nazareth kind of didn't want to see happen. They wanted that strong pass game, and they haven't really been able to get that so far, as the Parkland has been rushing foul zone all over the field tonight, forcing him to make uncomfortable plays, make those difficult plays, rolling out of the pocket, and kind of throwing sideways. We saw him, with his rocket arm just fire a little too much, and I think their objective here tonight was to fluster foul zone.
And I think they're doing a great job at doing that. And that was number 19, Kaden Bassemi, on the return for Nazareth.
So it looks like Nazareth's going to come out here and try to run some plays with 5 seconds left.
There's foul zone.
Foul zone's going to sit back. He's going to have no options though, and he's just going to keep on running. He's going to get some yardage here, but the clock will run out, I believe. So he is brought down by Army Trojans. And that will take us into the halftime break, where the Trojans are up 10-6 over the Nazareth Blue Eagles. If you're a Parkland fan, this is what you want to see. You want to see your Trojans up a half. You want to see them stopping foul zone and not allowing him to get in the end zone with 5 seconds left until the halftime break.
I feel like both teams are doing a great job, but having those little mistakes is really what's killing Nazareth right now. If they can just tighten it up and not have these mistakes, maybe it'll be a different game in the second half. We don't know.
Yeah.
That's quite a wrap you're wearing. Perhaps I could get you some fluffy new slippers made from the heads of innocent and defenseless baby seals.
Mr. Ventura, there's nothing wrong with enjoying the fruits of nature. You should try it sometime.
Alrighty then.
Alright, so hope you enjoyed that little skit there that we had at a little break. It was done by one of our directors here at the studio. Again, make sure to like all of our social media at Parkland TV and Film. Make sure to subscribe. I hope you're enjoying this experience here with us tonight. But again, very good job here in the first half by the Trojans, but I'm very eager to see what the halftime adjustment looks like for the Nazareth Blue Eagles. They're going to be ready to play. They're going to be ready to bring it in the second half.
Like you said, Nazareth does a good job adjusting, and I don't feel like they will get in their heads too much, because a simple touchdown will put them back in the lead. So I definitely think the game is not lost for Nazareth. They could have a comeback. Who knows at this point? We both have these two strong teams where it could go either way still. So hopefully Parkland doesn't get overconfident and it all works out.
I think if you're the Parkland coaching staff, the first thing that you want to mention as soon as you get in the locker room is that they're playing extremely well and keeping a very talented Nazareth team limited right now. They have only put up 1 touchdown on the board, and with the talent they have on that offense, that is very impressive. So, great job here by the defense. They got to keep that trend going. And another thing that you're mentioning is you do not want to let them get a touchdown coming out of the half. You want to keep this lead, because if they put a touchdown, now we're running from behind.
It's definitely a one-on-one game with points, and just seeing who can contain the other team the most. That's going to be what's going to make or break each team. And I think Parkland's doing a good job at containing foul zone and his offense, but Nazareth is doing a great job too, taking our offense passing game out of the table.
Yeah, we've seen them kind of limit their big playmakers. You know, I haven't seen Newsom's name. We haven't called his name a lot tonight. I think that Newsom has been very limited tonight in this ball game. He hasn't been able to make many plays. He has been very, I don't want to say quiet, I don't want to jinx it, but he has not, you know, had so far a productive first half. And, you know, neither really has Wimberley. Foul zone, you know, not too loud and not, for terms of being foul zone, not a very good game. He threw a touch, you know, an interception. He also, so I'm sure he's very upset about that. But you really just want to keep this trend going in the second half if you're the Trojans.
Definitely, and I totally agree with you. Fun fact, Keith Groller actually complimented our marching band in our interview that we did. He says he's usually a big fan of marching bands, and this year he said our show was phenomenal.
Yeah, so very impressive. We'll see the Nazareth marching band come out first. But like I said, you know, Keith Grower, he mentioned, you know, how both of these teams are very talented. He thought Parkland was going to come out on top. So maybe Allie is going to be proven wrong tonight. I hope Allie is proven wrong. It's looking like she will be so far. It's a great first half by the Trojans. Not a very good first half by the Nazareth Blue Eagles. That's what you kind of want. Again, I think the confidence has been kind of playing in a role with the Blue Eagles in this game, as they lost last week to the Freedom Patriots as compared to, you know, Parkland lost a couple weeks ago to the same team. So that's kind of playing a role. You have the mentality of coming off a win, a dominant win from Parkland versus Nazareth, you know, coming off a loss. So we're going to give you some highlights of the first half. So this is a punt return by the Nazareth Blue Eagles.
That was by number 16, Chase Kilarowski.
Yeah, so we saw the Trojans were all over that right away. Great play there, limiting them to not a lot of yardage. You know, keeping it very, you know, not allowing Nazareth to get those big plays to put points on the board, to get the momentum.
I definitely feel like both Parkland and Nazareth have been doing a good job on having returns, and there we see Wimberley, but Parkland just shuts it down, and I feel like Parkland does such a good job shutting down returns in our defense. That's something they're really good at and something that they've been utilizing today for this game.
Yes, definitely a dominant defensive line here for the Trojans tonight. As I mentioned, Nazareth lost basically their whole O-line and D-line last year, you know, to graduation. So, and now we see here from the kickoff from the Trojans, Nas Adams returning it for a good return here.
Nas Adams has, I feel like, been our key player for returns today, and he's been doing a great job running it. And he has done a phenomenal job today, I would feel like, and so has Parker Cusco.
Yeah, so Nas Adams, we've been calling his name a lot tonight. He's been very productive in the run game, in the return game. It's very important to have good returners. You know, he's looking for the hole there. He's looking to, I believe, you know, he's looking to get the hole there. He's looking to get more yards. He's looking to get that good field possession. Being patient, looking, you know, just trying to do his best. So, very good job here by the Trojans so far.
Yeah, I definitely feel like the Trojans have been doing a great job. It's just going to come down to who can take the critiques at halftime and really put them into play and what's going to show up. I mean, the game can still go either way. It's not a Parkland guaranteed win, but it's not a Nazareth guaranteed loss. And I feel like it always comes down to the nail biter, and both these teams have to know that.
Yeah, like you said, you never want to get too high, never want to get too low in these games. Parkland's got to be ready for a dogfight in the second half. And I'm predicting a nail-biter again in this fourth quarter. You know, we're going to be here shaking in the studio, you know, watching this game. I have a feeling it's going to come down to a game-winning drive in the final minute for either of these teams to come out with a W. So,
and I mean, having these little mistakes that they've been having definitely changes the game. Every time that they make a mistake, me and Tegan are like on our toes, like, oh my gosh, this just happened. So I think that we'll be in play the whole game unless they clean up their game. But it doesn't seem too much like they are.
I mean, yeah, Parkland hasn't played flawless too. We saw them get some offsides and false starts on that last drive there when they were trying to put 6 up on the board. And they had to settle for a field goal, and that's not what you wanted if you were Parkland. So, we're going to throw it to the band here. Very good first half for the Trojans and hoping to have a similar trend in the second half.
Put your hands together and let's party with the Parkland High School Trojan Marching Band. Stevie's earliest Grammy-nominated hits, known for its signature groove, Uptight. written to celebrate the birth of Stevie's daughter, Alicia, and has gone on to become a pop and jazz standard. Isn't she lovely? Charts. This next hit has people dancing for decades. The first single fully produced by Stevie himself. Signed, sealed, delivered. This next hit topped the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 charts, paying tribute to all of Stevie's musical idols. Let's hear it for So Dope. Boosters are thrilled to offer delicious dining to enhance this evening's game and band performances. Please make your way over to the far concession stand and take your pick from pulled pork or buffalo chicken over mac and cheese, a marching taco with your choice of toppings, or a cheeseburger, hot dog, or pizza. Wash it all down with an ice-cold refreshment featuring soda, Powerade, iced tea, and water. The Parkland High School Music Boosters wishes to thank you for your generous support of the band this season. Stop by and have a bite while supporting these wonderful performers. Let's hear it for them. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, your Parkland High School Trojan Marching Band.
And we're back for this second half of play where the Trojans are leading 10-6 over the Nazareth Blue Eagles. And, if you have noticed our fabulous replay system that we have been granted here, we want to thank the Parkland Education Foundation for granting us with that. It's very fancy. We like it a lot. It gives us opportunities to talk about stuff more, and it gives a whole new dynamic to our broadcast here, not only for us, but for the people in the booth over there, who they had to do a little more work. But it's very nice. We can talk about the plays a little bit more, analyze the plays a little more, give you some more commentary, and make it a little more professional. So thank you for the Parkland Education Foundation.
It's definitely nice having that as a new form of technology. As you can tell, we're still getting used to it as little kinks in halftime, but once we fully get that going, it's going to be an amazing tool to utilization.
Yeah, so, but let's get to the game. So, Parkland leading 10-6 over the Nazareth Blue Eagles. They've been able to contain that offense so far. I think that's been the biggest story of this first half for Parkland. Been able to contain the 4-star quarterback Payne Falzone. Obviously, they've only scored one touchdown, and that was early in the first quarter. A big thing again was Nazareth did fumble, turn the ball over, and that was the only touchdown that Parkland scored. So each team has been making crucial mistakes in this first half. Parkland and Nazareth have been going offsides and false starts and all of that nonsense that a coach does not want to see their team making, especially in a game like this.
And I definitely feel like Parkland and Nazareth aren't the teams in the league that usually make those mistakes. So probably being in a high intense game, it's definitely going to be interesting. You can see now that our Parkland fans come out to support, and I feel like that's a big key factor that we have, that our fans are just so dedicated and our students come out and support, which I love.
Yeah, I feel like this year it's a little new dynamic because there's only 4 home games. So I think our students up here at Parkland are really trying to get to those 4 games that we have here because, it's kind of hard to get to the away games, so you gotta want to take advantage of those games, especially if you're a senior and it's your last. You're able to come to the Parkland games where you can send the pack. That's where you make so many memories. That's what everyone is excited, looking forward to in high school, going to the Parkland games. Don't worry about us. We're enjoying here, having our time here at the high school commentating. We're having fun. We're doing what we want to do, but definitely very fun for the Trojan pack. And also this game just has a lot more to it than just this game. I think that both of these teams want to win because this is a big game for who will have that better seed in the playoffs, what team will be on top, and really who's going to be able to, get and overthrow Freedom, as both teams were beat by Freedom pretty handedly in the beginning of the season. A couple weeks ago, last week for Nazareth, I think it was the third or second week for Parkland.
And a lot can change in 2 weeks for Parkland. We're coming off of a fresh loss. I do say a loss is always way more valuable than wins because you just learn so much from a loss. So having that kind of 2-week buffer for Parkland with that loss to kind of recuperate, and just kind of get things back on track where they need to be, I feel like has definitely been kind of key for Parkland, with their coming off of a huge win from last week. So I definitely think Parkland does a great job at doing that.
So Nazareth will start on their own 40-yard line, and we'll see the 4-star quarterback, Virginia Tech commit, come back out looking to get to work here in this second half, looking to put some points on the board, looking to get that lead in this rivalry game against the Trojans.
And we're going to see how Nazareth and Parkland have both adjusted during halftime, what they have tweaked out, and what's really going to be coming forth in this next half.
And the first thing that I noticed, we got Payne Falzone in an empty set. He's saying, we're going to pass this football. Or maybe not. It'll be a jet sweep to Marquise Kimberly. But still, I think Parkland was expecting that pass right away, as I was saying earlier. And, they did do a little trickery there with the jet sweep to Marquise. They're trying to spread the ball out to their playmakers in a little more dynamic ways. If I'm Nazareth, I'm trying to get those simple plays, those little passes. Because, for Falzone, those deep passes really haven't been, they haven't really gone to that tonight. but you're just trying to get those little plays to get the first down. So Falzone fires, it is incomplete. That was intended for Jaden Quatch, I think.
Yeah, I definitely feel like Parkland did a good job, though, shutting it down when they realized Falzone wasn't passing. They did a great job, TJ Lawrence, shutting down Wimberley.
Yeah, definitely making those quick plays, adjusting to this talented offense tonight.
And you can just tell this offense is very talented with how many different plays they can utilize and do.
Other thing you want to see is you just want to see like how these teams play when they're playing from behind. You want to see how Nazareth plays when they're playing from behind. And Parkland gets the ball quickly on a handoff to the Lafayette commit, Caleb Newsome. They were all over that.
That is the first time we've heard Newsome's name this game, and he lost to Parkland was all over him, so that just might not be a great feeling for him right now. With
that was third down, so that will bring Nazareth to a fourth down, 4th and 19. So now Nazareth will be forced to punt where they wanted to put some points on the board on that first drive here. Didn't hit their first goal. So that's not a good start to get going in this first half of play.
We have quarterback Falzone punting.
Yeah, like I said, good athlete. And Adams is going to take this for a good return. He might take this all the way. He gets blocked. Go! He's going to take it to the end zone. Nas Adams, he's at the 5-yard line and will get thrown down by Falzone. Stopped at the short of the goal line.
And that's what Parkland needed. Nazim Adams has been such a key player, and him returning this is astronomical.
I love the way that Nas Adams, looks for his blockers, makes that quick cut there to get that yardage. That reminds me almost identical of a play that, Trey Trimba made last year on the punt return for a touchdown. But, Payne Falzone, good job there by being able to stop that. Maybe a little frustration here for him. I think that was Parkland's goal to get him flustered. But Parkland will start on their own 15-yard line here. And they have some momentum here. They got a third 3 and out, and now they're trying to put in the ball in the end zone. So, handoff Lawrence will go for little yards.
Like I said earlier, Nas is such a fast player, and he utilized his talent so well in the fact that he just ran that ball and dodged, which is exactly what the Trojans needed right now.
Yeah, speed as a football player, speed kills. You need speed on your football team. That is why you see all these players posting their 40-yard dashes and what their 100 times. You see them running track, working in the weight room to get faster, and that's what college coaches look for. So another handoff to TJ Lawrence, and it was a good run, but I do believe he will be stopped short of the goal line. So it'll be third and 2 on the ball on the 8-yard line for the Trojans. Getting closer to the touchdown.
This is what Parkland does best. Inching and inching away for the touchdown, honestly.
I think this year Parkland's not a team that's going to, attack you with, 50-yard plays. They're a team that's going to attack you with, 4-yard plays, another 4-yard plays, 3-yard plays. They're inching away at those, like you said, inching away at those first downs. So another handoff here, but they'll be stopped. I don't know. I think he may have got the first down, but it looked like
that was Leo Doberman, number 14.
Yeah, so he managed to get the first down, but there was a flock of Eagles on him immediately.
Nazareth is prepared for this. They know how to game plan against Parkland.
Touchdown, Trojans! Yeah. I believe that was Doberman again. I don't want to.
This is exactly the momentum Trojans need right now. Being up 16-6 is not a position Nazareth wants to be in currently. So we'll see how Nazareth fights back, but this seems like a great game for the Trojans.
Yeah, so that was the power back. Big man Reed Andrus powering in there to get the touchdown there.
Another one of our captains.
Yeah. Again, we see the captains here making all the plays tonight for the Trojans. Not just the captains, but great job being leaders. So the kick is good, and that's going to put Parkland up 17-6. So 11-point advantage on the Eagles. They got some leverage here now, being up 11 points. You know, it's a 2-score game now. The Nazareth Blue Eagles are not just playing behind by, you know, 1 touchdown now. They're playing behind from a 2-score game. So they really got to get some momentum here. Parkland has all the leverage, has all the momentum. Nazareth's got to start getting to work.
I don't think Nazareth expected this from Parkland, and Parkland's game tonight has been very good. I think Nazareth just needs to tweak a couple things. They've been kind of rushing their offense, not really expecting that Trojan defense to be so well on them. So I think the Trojans defense is doing a great job adjusting, and the offense is doing a great job with running it in.
Yeah, that was a great run there by Reed Andrus, you know, to get that touchdown. He's had a lot of those touchdowns in these games. You know, we see him, you know, they put him in close to that end zone, being that power back to just power it in there close to the goal line.
Tonight we've seen a lot of different names, I feel like, from the Parkland Trojans. It hasn't been just one key player. A lot of players have been making some great plays.
Yeah, now we see the Nazareth Blue Eagles kind of fumble it here on the kickoff. So Nazareth will, again, start with bad field position. They are just kicking themselves tonight. They're putting themselves in bad position in some of these plays. I mean, the Trojans are making plays, but some of them are just, they're hurting themselves. So you see that onside kick there, the squib kick. Nazareth does a bad job of covering that. It goes right through Wimberly's hands.
I don't think Wimberly is doing a good job at kind of adjusting to his game. The more and more Parkland is winning, the worse he is getting in mindset-wise, I feel like.
I mean, it's got to be a lot of pressure for him. So Falzone will get the snap. He will juke. He will fire deep. It's intercepted by Nas Adams. That is the second interception here for the Trojans tonight. It looks like the ref was questioning it a little bit, but I think they're going to call the interception. So another big mistake by the Hokie.
And that is Junior Nazim Adams making himself known tonight. He has such great plays, and just this interception is fantastic. That was meant for number 13, Luke DePerto, who I think got their first touchdown, right?
Yeah. I mean, and if you're Nazim, like, this is a big game. There's people watching. You're putting your name out there in the Lehigh Valley. Now, he's having an excellent game, making plays on offense, making plays on defense, making plays on being their return man on special teams. He's all over the field tonight. We see him return, you know, the ball to the 5-yard line, 15-yard line, and now he just got an interception. Great play.
We've been mentioning his name from the first quarter, and we're still mentioning his name. That's how you know it's a good player.
And now there's a pass from Guzman to number 3, Marcel Burden for the big play for the Trojans. The Trojans are rolling right now all over the Eagles.
Our passing game has not been great for this game, but that pass was what we needed, and it was executed beautifully.
Looks like Wimberly just lost his man there. I don't know if that was an assignment, but he was the closest guy to him. And great play there by, you know, I think Marcel Burns, kind of that tight end position. Great play by him.
That's
you know,
another thing I will
sneak out.
say. I don't think Wimberly was expecting that pass from
Yeah,
Guzman.
just a little miscommunication there by the Eagles offense. So, again, looking for a pass there, and that was intended for Reed Andros, covered by Wimberly, and it is incomplete. Again, I mean, we did just see that big pass play, but the Parkland pass defense, or Parkland pass offense has been looking, you know, kind of, I don't want to say weak, but that hasn't been very active tonight. Let's say that.
I will say, if Parkland gets another touchdown, Nazareth doesn't want to dig themselves in such deep of a hole that they can't get out of. Not saying that another touchdown would lead to that, but it would definitely help solidify the Parkland win.
So pitch to Leo Doberman. Doberman's going to take it to the outside on 2nd and 10. And he will be brought down, but he not after getting a good amount of yards there on that play. So Caleb Newsom was on top. Great play by Doberman there to just fight for the extra yards. He's trying to prove himself. He's trying to make a name for himself in his senior season as a captain. So Guzman will will be in the shotgun.
This is the position Parkland wants to be in and needs to be in, and I definitely think they're doing a great job at it.
Hand off to TJ Lawrence, and it'll be almost a rugby style push there for the first down on 3rd and 2.
TJ does a great job of keeping his composure when he's running the ball, I will say.
I mean, you want to see a running back fight for every single inch they can get, and that's what TJ does a phenomenal job of. That's what I see all these Parkland players doing, honestly. Fighting for every single inch they can get. They are definitely playing to win tonight. They want to win this game. They need to win this game. They are very motivated here. And now we got 1st down and 10. Let's see what they do. So they'll go to Lawrence again. He's going to break some tackles and drive the Trojans forward closer to that end zone. And they'll put the ball on the 18-yard line. Sorry, the 13-yard line. They'll put the ball on the 13-yard line on 2nd and 5 for the Trojans. So, great job here by Lawrence. We've seen them go to Lawrence a couple plays in a row. So, Lawrence and Guzman in the backfield again. Motion man is Marcel Burden. Quick handoff again to Lawrence, and he is going to get some yards there for the Trojans. We've seen him bully his way through here for a good amount of yards on 3 back-to-back plays.
Like you said, them fighting, the whole team fighting, they had to come into this game with the intention of everything left on the field, and that is exactly what Parkland is doing tonight.
So another handoff to Lawrence, but Nazareth is expecting it. And this is the thing that Parkland kind of wants to, I mean, personally, I think that Parkland needs to kind of avoid going to Lawrence every single play. You don't want to become predictable. You don't want to, you don't want Nazareth to know, okay, they're just getting the ball to TJ. Let's just load the box here. You want to spread the ball out. You want to have some motion. You want to make them confused. You want to have to make them, anticipate stuff. Obviously, when you run the ball 4 times in a row, it makes it a little bit easier. So now it looks like they're going to do something different. Lawrence isn't in the backfield. He will be motioned into the backfield now with Guzman. And Guzman will motion Reed Andrush.
Previously, that was Cash Marsteller with the block.
There you go.
So Guzman on the read option is going to keep it and get some yardage there on 2nd and 7. And also another thing that this heavy Parkland run offense does is it just drags the defense out and makes them exhausted. It really makes a defense tired when you're out there for that long, playing the run, especially with this inexperienced Nazareth D-line. And they're dragging that clock out. They're burning the time that, Nazareth doesn't have with and Nazareth's playing from behind, so they want that ball. And, Parkland's kind of playing, cat and mouse game right here.
I will say Parkland's game has been very smart tonight with the type of plays they have been doing with the punt and now playing cat and mouse almost. It's very strategic, and that's exactly what they needed going into this game, is to have a strategic game, knowing.
And now there's going to be a touchdown for the Trojans here, and the score will be advanced 23-6 with 4 minutes remaining. I believe it was Leo Doberman again on the carry there to punch it in the end zone.
This is exactly what Nazareth does not need tonight, to be so far behind. I mean, it's not impossible for them to catch up, but if Parkland keeps going at the rate that they're going, it's going to be extremely hard to have a comeback.
Yeah, and it looks like that touchdown didn't come without a cost. We see Leo Doberman being helped off the field now. We did get insight earlier that he has had some ankle injury, I suppose. So that's very unfortunate. You never want to see, especially as a senior, having an injury. Ankle is a very nagging injury too. Something that really never really goes away. It just keeps on staying there and bothering you.
And definitely in a key game like Parkland versus Nazareth, having injuries is not what the team wants or needs right now.
So Parkland will come out for the extra point. And Doug Bell is ready to put it through the uprights. And the kick is good for Doug Bell. He's been having an excellent season so far. Been very efficient at, as the place kicker. So, no, he's having an excellent season. I believe he's a senior.
Yeah.
So, great job by him. It does seems like a small position there, but when you need to have a good kicker to win games, as we see Nazareth, they could be only down 10, but they are down 7 or 11 because they missed a field goal. So definitely just the minute details of this game that comes down to the wins and losses in those columns.
May I have your attention, ladies and gentlemen? BMW license plate KD.
It's definitely going to be interesting to see how Nazareth is going to adjust with the 24-6 score right now. I feel like they did not come out of the half like they should have with that huge almost fire that they needed, even being, 10-6, and now it's 24-6.
Yeah.
Parkland is doing a great job at keeping that fire ignited under them and not giving up, where I feel as Nazareth is kind of getting defeated almost.
Yeah, I mean, you saw they got a 3-and-out, and then you saw Falzone throw and then you saw after the 3-and-out, you saw Adams take it to the 15-yard line. He had a great run there. Almost an end. That would have been a touchdown to the house if Payne Falzone didn't stop it there. And then you see Payne Falzone throw an interception to Nas Adams. So 2 very big mistakes there by the Eagles, and 2 very big knocks to the momentum in this game for
Especially
the Eagles.
Mistakes you don't think would be coming from your 4-star quarterback. So I definitely feel like that could be shaking up Peyton Falzone a little bit.
I mean, you definitely want to have the confidence, and you got to think he's already committed. There's definitely still a lot of pressure on him to perform, though. Everyone's saying, "Oh, he's a 4-star. He's so talented," but that definitely comes with some pressure. I mean, he's undoubtedly talented, but there's definitely a lot of pressure on him. So Falzone will drop back. He's going to fire quickly, but that is wrapped up by number 2, Reed Andrus on the tackle.
There's a lot of key senior players, but there's also a lot of key younger players tonight. I feel like Parkland's doing a good job of getting a lot of names known and a lot of names out there, and that just shows how good our team can be when we utilize all of our players to their fullest potential.
Yeah, I mean, they lost 28 seniors last year, so. And sorry, that wasn't Reed Andrews. That was Nas Adams on the play. So another play by Nas Adams. So great tackle there to wrap behind the chains. I mean, but like I said, they lost 28 seniors. You're looking for that, there's a lot of juniors who were sitting, on the bench on the sidelines most of the season who didn't get that game time experience. And, once that senior class leaves, it's on you to be in those positions and to play. You're just used to getting in those second team reps that, as the season goes on and the games become more important to get a victory, those reps, go down a little bit. So you're really not getting any experience. Parkland is kind of grateful that they are one of those teams that are very dominant, so they do have a lot of those games where it's a blowout and they can put in their backups, they can put in their second, even their third, fourth string players. But it's still challenging when you lose that many seniors, and Nazareth's having the same problem.
And I think definitely earlier in the season, our first game where we commentated, we said it's going to be hard for the Trojans to transition and to adjust to this new change, like you said, losing so many seniors. And I think this game is where I think the Trojan as a team finally came together, and you really can see now how the transition kind of didn't really affect the team right now. We're doing a great job at kind of keeping the Parkland name alive and doing a fantastic job against Nazareth.
Yeah, and I feel like the mindset of Parkland, and I saw this headline by my buddy Keith Groller. He said, Parkland doesn't, rebuild, they reload, and I think Parkland is reloading this season with the losses they took with the 2018ers. They reloaded in every single position on offense, on defense. I think the one advantage they have is they didn't do, too much reloading in terms of defense and O-line here, which I think is the advantage that Parkland has because they did have 2 seniors get injured on the O-line and D-line last year. So the handoff will be to Wimberly on 2nd and 8, but Wimberly will have no room to run there as the Trojans collapsed on him.
Wimberly.
So again, if you're a Nazareth Blue Eagle, that's the plays that you don't want to be seeing. They're not really getting much from those run plays. You want to see those big pass plays that Peyton Falzone is known for making, why he's the 4-star.
I'm sure Peyton doesn't feel great about his passes, though, being intercepted, so he's probably a little bit more hesitant to make those passes now, I would say. And you can tell in his game they have not been pulling those out.
I mean, definitely when you have 2 interceptions, that does play into the mind of quarterback. You got to have, a mindset where you kind of had, just, quick memory loss and just forget about those plays, forget about the mistakes you made, and be ready to make the plays. So another handoff to Wimberly, but Parkland's defense is all over it on 3rd down and 2 on their own 28-yard line. So Nazareth will be forced to punt here.
Wimberly is known, I would say, for being very fast, but Parkland has been doing a fantastic job of being on him where he doesn't get the room to run. And that's what I think is really affecting their game is Marquise has not really been running a lot through this game because Parkland's been shutting him down, which is exactly what they needed to do.
So it looks like the Nazareth offense is going to stay on the field here. They're going to go for it on 4th and 2. Why not? They're down 11 points, and Payne Falzone is going to get the first down here on 4th and 2. And it looks like there's going to be a penalty here. They might call that a late hit because it did look like Falzone was out of bounds and he was still getting tackled.
That's what you need from your quarterback, and Peyton Falzone does a great job at mixing it up for Nazareth.
You see he saw nothing there, and then late hit there by Andros. I think that's going to be the call here, and that might be a big hit to the Trojans right now. I mean, that's not what you want to do. That you gave up the first down on 4th and goal. Could have given the ball back on 4th down. Could have given the ball back to your offense, but now instead they got the first down, and now they got, an extra yardage. So Falzone's going to go again, firing, looking for play. He's going to tuck it and run for some yardage like last play.
Falzone and the keeper.
That was number 57, Matt Dorsey, who stopped him. He did a great job at getting at his feet.
Yeah, great job of aiming for the ankles there. Falzone does a great job of knowing when to tuck and run, knowing when he doesn't have anything. I got to take off and keep it. Falzone drops back again, looking for anything, looking for players. He's going to be pressured, and he's going to be grabbed back for a sack. Woo! Big play there by the Trojans.
And that was number 40, Matris.
That was a great play. So much pressure there on Falzone. This is what I think the Eagles were scared of tonight, was not having that advantage in terms of line, having that experience in the O-line, not giving enough time to Falzone. And, I mean, honestly, that's been the struggle here for them, giving him enough time. He's been having to scramble every single play, not having enough time in the pocket.
And you can see the body language in Falzone now. He's not as confident. He's not doing as well as he was in the first quarter. He is getting shut down, and I don't think he's responding very well to it.
Yeah, and on 3rd and 16, he was just, pressured there and just had to fire out of bounds. And it looks like, Falzone is also, a little just beat up right now.
He is not adjusting well, and I feel like Parkland is taking such great advantage over it. His body language, everything, he's very tense.
And he's getting ready to punt again to, I believe that's C.J. Lawrence, and, maybe we can see a big return here again. That would definitely be a hit to the Blue Eagles. So Lawrence is going to get the ball off his skip, and he's going to take it out to about the 35-yard line.
It's nice to have other people besides Nazim Adams who can return the ball and have that for our team.
So the Parkland offense will come back here ready to work, looking to increase this lead. Again, if you are Freedom looking at this game, I would be a little bit scared. You know, matchups are definitely a big thing in this game. You know, some teams just, you know, match up better against other teams. You know, maybe Parkland just matches up better against this team than they do Freedom. But also Freedom, they're probably looking like, oh, Parkland is beating Nazareth right now. We didn't really, you know, expect that to be this, and they're winning by a lot. They probably didn't expect that. And now a big run by Nas Adams for the first down and more. He's going to bring it to the 50-yard line.
Freedom was only our second game of the season, so I definitely feel like throughout these games, Parkland has been kind of adjusting and figuring out who they are as a team with losing so many team members. And this game just shows that they are a force to be reckoned with. And I'm sure coming up when they have to play Freedom again, Freedom's probably going to be looking at this game as a reference, because this is, I would say, kind of not expected, the score-wise, what was going to come out of this game.
Yeah, and you also definitely just make a lot of growth during the season. So, you know, when you make that growth, it's hard to kind of compare yourself to other teams that you played earlier in the season compared to later. You know, I've been very impressed with the Trojans in this game. You know, if you're a Trojan fan, you're very thrilled with this 24-6 lead going into the fourth quarter. If you're Nazareth, you got to put the pedal to the metal now, and I mean now. Like, you need a turnover like now. You got to start putting points on that board as soon as you can, or this game, I mean, it's already kind of out of the question, but it is going to be out of the question if you don't put points on the board immediately.
And I mean, I don't want to harp on it, but mindset is just so important when you're losing, and you know you have the talent to possibly come back. I mean, it would be extremely hard with the score right now, but you can just tell in their body language on the field, they're not having it, they're not happy with themselves, and they're kind of reliving their mistakes, and I would say that is their downfall right now.
I mean, in Nazareth, obviously, I think that they're not playing their best game. I don't think they're playing their best quality football game that they could be playing at the moment right now. I think they probably have seen themselves been playing better football compared to what they're playing tonight. But if you're Nazareth right now, you just want to get your offense, you want to get your defense off the field, you want to get Payne Palazona back out there and get him slinging it, getting a touchdown on the board, a quick 6 to chip away at that lead with the fourth quarter starting here. So Guzman and Lawrence in the backfield. Or Naquan Thompson. And Thompson's going to take this for a good little run there. Again, very impressed with this Parkland O-line here. And Parkland is also just draining that clock. We see, naturally, they are a run-heavy team, so they're going to drain the clock. But I think also right now, they're really looking to drain that clock here with a comfortable lead here.
I mean, they have time to. They have time to kind of adjust and honestly make Nazareth sweat. They don't need to rush like how they did before the half. They just need to keep the lead and contain Nazareth.
There's no reason to panic. You just want to make sure that you're not making any mistakes. You want to make sure you're staying calm, you're keeping that football, doing what you have to do to pull out this win and keep the lead. So another handoff to Naquan Thompson for some good yards there. He'll get the first down on 2nd and 1, and that'll move the change for the Trojans on their 40-yard line. So Guzman's going to be, managing. He's been doing a good job managing the offense tonight. Again, Thompson giving Lawrence a little break. And Nazareth was all over that play. No room for Thompson there.
Giacobbe on the stop for Nazareth.
So now Nazareth is really they're really working hard. You see them getting to that ball quickly. They're trying to get the ball back as this clock is just ticking away. And, this game has become a little more this victory, pulling out a victory becomes a little less manageable every second that clock winds down.
I don't think people expected this score. I don't think I expected this score to be so drastically different. We talked about it being a nail biter, and right now, Parkland has a great lead.
So head off to Lawrence on 2nd and 7. He's not going to get much yardage there. So that'll bring a 3rd down and 7, or 3rd down and 2. So again, Parkland really just looking to drive that ball forward. They are playing pound football here, pounding that ball, pounding that rock. It's exhausting for the defense right now. Thompson's going to get the 1st down and more for the Trojans.
Thompson carries good for a Trojan 1st down.
Again, Thompson's another sophomore running back. He's been having an excellent season. When TJ comes out, he's a little more, I won't say as powerful as TJ. He's a little more quicker, I would say, and it gives a kind of new dynamic, for the offense to look at when you have, kind of 2 different style of runners. But that was a great run by him. Good job getting that 1st down on 3rd and 2. So another handoff to Thompson. He's going to drive forward.
Oh, right to the face by number 50. Jake Benekovitz. You can see Nazareth getting a little dirty here now, probably because they're upset with themselves, and it's only them to blame.
Yeah, so good 1st down there for the Trojans. Good job powering through there. And again, this clock is winding down. Almost 8 minutes left in this 4th quarter. Clock is winding down. Game is slipping away from the Blue Eagles. So again, Thompson on the carry. He's going to avoid the tacklers. And Thompson's going to get in the end zone for another Trojans touchdown to extend the lead for Parkland.
This is not a great feeling for Nazareth right now. It's almost like the game is unreachable for them at this point, I would say. Not a position they want to be in.
I mean, right now, 30-6. I do not think that was what the fans were expecting the score to be. In this 4th quarter, I thought, I was expecting a little closer game here. Nazareth is just making a lot of mistakes here tonight.
Let's see how Doug Bell does.
And again, the kicker puts it in and does his job.
You can see the Trojan pack getting hyped. This is a game that is so important to us, and we're doing a phenomenal job in just keeping the energy up, and containing Nazareth is going to be our job from now on.
Now, when you're going against a rivalry school, you have a lot of pride in going into this game. It's, we get excited when we get a victory over Nazareth or Emmaus, so it's going to be an exciting day on Monday in school. We can, keep this lead.
There's our push-up competition from the Trojan Pack. We started a new thing this year where we have a push-up board, which I think is so cool for the students to get involved and get hyped.
Yeah, definitely brings energy. And, I think it kind of brings that college environment. I know it's high school, but, the thing I love about college football is that the student section gets so into it, the fans get so into it, they are invested into the team. And I think it's very similar in high school football, but I love that we kind of started that tradition here this year. I haven't seen that before, but I love it.
Yeah, I think it's really neat. And I will say, fans do have an impact on the team. They help keep the energy up, and they're helping keep the energy up for the Trojans, though they don't need much help tonight.
Home team advantage definitely is a thing. So, and Wimberly will be returning it.
And this is where we can see his speed.
He's going to get wrapped up and tackled. Great job there by the Parkland kickoff team.
Parkland's doing a great job shutting down Nazareth key players, and that's just what they need to be doing now. They have 8 minutes left, and now they just need to contain Nazareth, which is what they're doing.
I mean, Wimberley really had nowhere to go there, too. I mean, if I was him, I don't know if I would have turned that one. He was basically in his own end zone. Could have been a touchback. It was very close to being a touchback. So now they're start on their own 22-yard line, 1st and 10. Foul zone looking to make something happen now. So it'll just be a handoff to Wimberley. Again, I don't know why Nazareth hasn't been airing it out more this game. I mean, their past game I wouldn't say hasn't been like nothing. They've been doing a good job when it comes to pass games, so I don't know why they're not going into it more.
I think Peyton's in his head. I think the miscommunications and the interceptions, I personally think really got to him, and he's just trying to not make those mistakes further, because I don't want to say that cost them the game, but that definitely had a major cost in the game.
Yeah, that can definitely make a big impact on a quarterback. So, 2nd and 8, another handoff to Wimberley, and the Parkland defense is all over that one again.
The Parkland defense is doing a great job at adjusting and really, I would say, honing in on the offense of Nazareth.
So now it will be 3rd down for the Blue Eagles, 3rd down and 8, so there was 0 yards gained on that play. It'll be 3rd down and 8 with the clock just ticking away.
I'm sure this is not a great feeling for Nazareth right now, feeling like the game is out of their hands. I'm sure this was not the score they were expecting.
Falzone avoiding a tackle and scrambling. He's going to get a big run here. He has some room. Big run there by the 4-star QB, as he can see how he can run. That kind of gives me deja vu of the district championship game. He had one important drive they needed to put in the end zone, and he scrambled, and Parkland just couldn't stop him. As you see how effective Peyton Falzone is, not only with his legs, or not only with his arms, but with his legs. He's very fast. He runs, I think, an 11.340 yard dash, or not 40 yard dash, 11.300 meter dash in track and field as a sophomore. That's very impressive, very speedy. So he's got those long legs, as you can see. He's about, I believe, 6'5". So you can see how that speed kills as a QB.
And it's definitely interesting to see he's not one QB with just an arm. He has so many assets to him, and he really uses them super well.
He's definitely dynamic, but it looks like there was a penalty called here on the Nazareth Blue Eagles, so they're going to be drawn back a little bit, I believe.
I feel like that's been a pattern this game.
Yeah, and that's definitely just like another hit to foul zone. I mean, you make that big play, and then you see you get a penalty, and you're like, I mean, what do you got to do to make a play here tonight? So 3rd and 5 is what we'll have coming up. Falzone looking. He's going to tuck it and scramble again. Just like last play, and just like last play, he's going to get a big gain. So Falzone on 2 plays in a row tucks it and runs for a big gain. He's a little tired there. 2 big long run plays in a row.
I'm sure this is not easy for him. He, I would say right now, is the glue that's holding Nazareth together very, very thinly, and it's not really working out.
Yeah, now we're going to see a handoff on that 1st down. I mean, I think the problem right now for the Eagles is, like, you're down by a lot and you're running the ball. You need to get touchdowns quickly. I'm not too sure why they are still, I mean, maybe they're just like trying to put in the end zone, but you're trying to put up points quickly. Why aren't you passing?
We did say earlier, Falzone does weigh out all his options.
And Peyton Falzone fired deep in the end zone, but it was great coverage there by Liam Spang on the incompletion.
That's definitely what we need to see from the Trojans. We talked about earlier how would our defense be on their passing game today, and I will say our defense has been all over them.
Yeah, that was great coverage there, and that's what I honestly thought was going to be the biggest struggle here for the Trojans. You know, before the game I was a little skeptical because I knew the talent that Payne Falzone has, and I knew, that the pass game is kind of the Parkland Trojans' weakness, but they've been doing an excellent job tonight. Falzone pressured quickly, throws a little screen pass, and that will go for some yardage. So a little check down there, sorry, not screen pass, check down, and that will, get away from that, get away from almost being sacked and being negative play, but now we'll get the first down.
That was Jacob Angoni, number 21. I feel like that's the first time we've seen his name all game.
Yeah, and now there's 5 minutes left remaining in this game for the Eagles, so they're really trying to get the ball up the field quickly into the end zone. So another run play, second down and 10.
It seems like Jacob has taken the spot of Wimberly, which is not something you very much see often.
Yeah. So Falzone in the backfield. He's going to roll out. He's going to be pressured. He has nowhere to go. And he's going to be sacked for a big loss. It's a problem that you see some NFL quarterbacks and college quarterbacks come with. They're scrambling all over, trying to make a play, avoiding tackles, and they get themselves in trouble, as he lost 6 yards there.
This is not a great feeling for Nazareth with only 4 minutes left. And I would say this game is unreachable at this point, but we never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think that's definitely safe to say, but also I would not blame this game at all on Falzone. I mean, he has had no time tonight, and I give credit to the Parkland pass defense and the Parkland run defense. Incredible pressure here on Falzone tonight, as he just airs another one into the end zone for incompletion.
Falzone has been, we said in the beginning, he keeps his composure. He really weighs out his options. He's still doing that. It's just hard when you have so much pressure on you, like you said. And he's been trying, but not having those options has probably been really tough on him.
And there's a holding call on that play against the Blue Eagles. So they'll be pushed back even farther.
Not what they want at all.
After losing 6 yards, they're going to lose more. And there's only 3 minutes remaining in this ball game.
This is like the losing yards game for Nazareth today.
Penalties have been a killer for them tonight, definitely. And that's definitely another headline of this story. So 3rd and 26. Not many plays that you can draw up for 3rd and 26. But we see Payne Falzone fire to Caleb Newsome.
Both D1 commits, and you can see that there is talent with Nazareth. That was just, as you can see in the replay. Falzone has that arm, and honestly, I think they should have been utilizing that way more throughout the game, and they didn't, and they ran it instead, and Parkland just shut that down.
Yeah, so a little more manageable 4th and 8 for the Nazareth Blue Eagles. Obviously, they're kind of forced to go for it if they want to try to win this ball game. So Falzone will avoid a tackle. He'll just do a little dump pass off, and it looks like they will be short of the first down from what I can tell.
Parker Cusco on the stop for the Trojans.
That was Parker Cusco on the stop.
Trojans take over on downs, 3:31 remaining.
So Trojans take over on downs with 3:30 remaining in this game. All right, so the Parkland offense will come back on the field. They're energized. You see them kind of jumping around, ready to get in, a little bit of victory formation here, but they're just going to run this clock out to the timeout. As we see another run with Lawrence. He gets through a hole for a first down.
Lawrence has been pushing those runs constantly throughout the game, and that's what Parkland needs.
I mean, he did a great job of finding a hole there. Good job by the old line of creating that hole there.
Parkland, all in all, is doing a fantastic game. It's a well-played game. It's a well-played game of football tonight. I would say, honestly, by both teams. It's just Parkland, I think has more fight in them and is outplaying Nazareth.
Yeah, I've been very impressed. Parkland definitely showed up on all 3 phases of the field, and I think that's why the score is what it is right now. I think the key to the game was Parkland being able to contain foul zone. They did that, so that's one check. They were able to put points on the board, so that's one check. And on special teams, they've been making big plays. You saw the big return by Nassim Adams. He had a big return in the 50-yard line. Could have very easily been a touchdown.
And not even just Peyton, I think they were also worried about Newsome and Wimberley containing them. And I think we've only seen Newsome twice this game, and Wimberley, we've just been containing him every time he's gotten the ball. So with all 3 key of those players on Nazareth, they've been doing an excellent job of containing not just foul zone.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the amount of talent that this Nazareth football team has. And if you look at that and then look, all the stars they have, all the, commits and, recruits they have, Parkland really doesn't have a lot of that, and that's no hit to Parkland. Parkland's a young team. I'm sure they will have that next year, but just not this year. And both of the teams lost a lot of seniors. So I think this is a very impressive win for Parkland, and it's a very, it gives them a lot of, confidence. So we see Blake Nastry, the sophomore quarterback now, as they're putting in their backups. And Caleb Corsa is going to get a first down here and more.
Caleb Corsa, when we did the first game for Washington, I think got 2 touchdowns?
I believe so, yeah, 2 touchdowns. There's a lot of scoring that game.
Yeah, and like we said earlier, it's really nice that Parkland can get these big leads on teams to put more inexperienced players in to really get that experienced varsity time for when we have to reload and not just rebuild, like Tegan said.
Yeah, and I just think, this is just astonishing. You see the backups in against Nazareth. That's something you don't see, really.
And I'm sure Nazareth, they know that these are the backups, are probably not taking that well. Nazareth is not expecting Parkland to go and put in their backup quarterbacks and their backup wide receiver. It's honestly...
Yeah, I mean, they're just running the ball out, shooting clock, so this is basically... This ball game is pretty much all wrapped up. It's just kind of all to play now. So definitely a big win here for the Trojans tonight. I was very impressed with all 3 phases of the game. We'll just see Parkland run the ball out here. This is a great opportunity for the other backups to get their reps in, prove their abilities, show their talents, just not, out on the practice field, but under those Friday night lights.
Seems like something was called here.
There's a penalty flag prior to the play.
Sending in more backups.
Yeah, it looks like the Parkland Trojans will be pushed back there, and that's one of the things that will happen when you put in the less experienced players.
But that mistake won't take a huge hit now. We have 1:20 left, so I think the Parkland can relax and just contain them.
So not a lot of time left in this game. Big run here for the Parkland Trojans on 1st and 15.
Another rugby style type of play here, and I think the Trojans are doing a good job kind of containing and keeping the time, realizing that they only have 50 seconds left and just making sure Nazareth doesn't get a hold of the ball.
Yeah, so that was a good run there by Julius Silva. And you can hear the energy in the crowd through the screen. You can hear that band hype. You can hear the student section roaring a little bit.
We're hype here. Every time that we get a touchdown, we're up out of our seats. It's honestly just a great feeling as both Parkland students to see what our team is capable of, especially against a really high team like Nazareth.
So 10 seconds remaining in this game, and the Trojans have taken down the Nazareth Blue Eagles. They come on top of this game in the battle of 3-1 teams. Great victory here by the Parkland Trojans.
I would say this is not the outcome that we were expecting. I mean, I predicted that Parkland was going to win, but I didn't think by this much of a lead, so it's honestly great to see how well we played tonight.
I think this was a very well executed game by the Parkland Trojans. We saw them on all, like I mentioned earlier, all three phases of the field. They were effective. They played very well on all three phases of the field. Hope Leo Dowerman's okay. We saw him go with ankle injury, and that's kind of one of the things that come out when you're in a dog match like this game. But again, very good game here by the Parkland Trojans. I loved just all the fight they had in the game.
You can see too, there was just a hug with Peyton Falzone. The teams both have great sportsmanship, which is really nice to see with rivalry teams, and just having that nice camaraderie is a nice feeling, especially when you lose. I don't think Nazareth was expecting to lose by this much, and Parkland still being great sports about it and them being great sports about it is always great to see with our high school teams, because again, it can get a little chirpy, so it's always a great thing to see.
I mean, if you're Parkland, this is a great win. This is a great momentum builder. I mean, this is going to take you through the rest of the season. You know, taking on a good team like Nazareth and getting a victory. That's something that is just amazing for this team. That's something that you want to see. I mean, I can't express enough how important beating Nazareth is for the Trojans in any season, no matter how good they are, not only because it's a rivalry game, but because they are two of the top programs in the EPC, and when you get a victory over one another, it gives you momentum. But another thing I will say is that I have noticed a trend that every time Parkland beats Nazareth in the regular season, it isn't the same outcome in the playoffs. So let's just not hope for that this season.
And Nazareth does adjust well, and you can see all these Parkland players smiling. It gives me the warm fuzzy feelings. It probably gives you guys the warm fuzzy feelings. It's a great feeling overall in general to have this. It's a great confidence booster, especially with our confidence in the team being so new and young. And like you said, though, last year we won to them, and then we lost to them in the district finals. So it's something that we need to keep in the back of our minds in a way to have that confidence, but then on the counter side, keep it in the back of our minds. It's not always going to be like this, and you always still need to keep fighting.
I mean, you wouldn't take this game for what it is. It was a great victory, but you want to know that it wasn't a perfect game. It definitely wasn't a game that I would say we played perfect. Like, there was perfect the execution was great, but there was mistakes. There was offside penalties. There's things that you can fix as a team. There's things that you can improve on, and you want to make sure you're improving on that things. Even though you got this big victory, you want to make sure you work on the things. And if you're Nazareth, this is really I would say a kick to the butt. I mean,
yeah.
You lose in a rivalry game. You lost last week. Now you fall to 3-2.
It's
just
not
above,
fun.
Just about 50%.
It's also, I think they're coming out of this game with the expectation, I would say Nazareth had, of winning, with kind of the odds stacked against Parkland, I would say, in the sense of players. And I think they came in thinking they might have had this win and was blown away by how excellent Parkland played football today.
I mean, there was a lot of pressure on them tonight.
There was.
There was a lot of pressure on them. There was a lot of expectations. A lot of, people predicted that Nazareth was going to come out on top. Allie. And, I mean, if you're Nazareth, you feel that sense of disappointment. You were kind of expected to win this game, and you didn't. I mean, this is I don't want to say a down year for Parkland, but this is definitely not the most talented Parkland team we've seen. So definitely kind of a downer for Nazareth. And if you're Nazareth, you want to make sure you come back and are ready for the playoffs when you maybe see the Trojans again. So you see how happy this team is to get this victory. You see how happy the student section is. You see how happy the community is. And that's what you want to see in the Parkland community.
I just think it's a great overall win. It's a great way to finish the night out. I think I think it's just overall a great kind of night. So we're going to actually finish with the interview with Leo Dauberman talking about the Nazareth game and what his expectations were, like I said earlier, and just how he got into football and all that. So it will be really nice. So stick around after this live to see that interview.
And just one more thing I want to say before he starts the interview. Nassim Adams had a great game.
He had a fantastic game.
Every single play. He had an interception. He had a great return. He was catching balls all over the field, making plays all over defense. Nassim Adams is definitely the player of the game tonight.
I would definitely say that. He's made his name kind of known in past games, but tonight he really made his name known. And on such an important night like tonight, where you have like a very tough game, and just having, I would say he was a player on all aspects of the field, not just offense, not just defense, but both, and he did such a great job at it. So I would definitely call him the MVP.
I mean, when you're playing against a talented team, those great performances mean 10 times more than if you're playing against a team that's less talented.
Yes.
Having a touchdown, having those great plays means more. It means more. It makes your name in everywhere in the Lehigh Valley heard. So now it's our interview. Great game for the Trojans. Great win. Let's go, Trojans.
Signing off is Abigail Wood
and Tegan Trempa.
Thank you for joining us today, Leo. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. So to kick things off, let's start with a little bit about how you got into football, what inspired you to get into football, and why you're playing football now.
Yeah, so I've been playing football for 12 years. I started in kindergarten with flags at North Parkland. Then you go to 80s, 100s, 120s, 140s. I played throughout middle school, freshman. I spent time on JV, and now I'm on varsity, so I've been playing for around 12 years. But my brother and my dad both played football, so I think them kind of being in the sport wanted me to join it as well.
Nice. You talk about being on the football team for 12 years. What would you say your most memorable moment being a part of the Parkland program for so long would be?
It's kind of tough not to say winning district championship, but my sophomore year. But this past off season, we do this thing called Trojan War, which is usually a hard conditioning day for us. But our last one's kind of a fun competition, and we were inside pushing a sled when a bunch of kids' shoes were falling off, and they were kind of stopping and putting their shoes back on. And then this one young sophomore, his shoes fell off, and he tried to push in his socks, and he couldn't. And then he ripped all of his socks off. And the whole kind of Ox gym came together, like all 60, 70 of us started yelling at this kid, encouraging him to get across the line. It was just like cool team bonding experience. It was really fun.
That's super neat. This year has been quite different for the team. I mean, losing key players like Luke Spang and Trey Tremba, who you have played with before in the past. So having that team bonding is really nice. But besides that, what else would you say the transition for the team has been?
Yeah, it's tough. Obviously, all those guys are really great players, and filling those shoes isn't easy. But a lot of guys have had to step into different positions, different roles on the team. So guys switching positions, learning new spots, it's been probably the biggest transition. Coaches switching up gameplay and offenses and defensive strategies has also kind of been a big role for us.
So now let's get into the upcoming game with Nazareth. So we won and lost to them last year. So coming into this game, what would you say your mindset would be, just knowing that you could go either way in this game?
Yeah, I mean, we come in with every week with kind of the same mindset that we're going to come out and play the best that we can. But this week especially, we know it's going to be kind of a dogfight that, hopefully a four-quarter battle going into the last play, like last year during the regular season or last year during playoffs. So, we're prepared for a full game and a hard-fought battle all the way through.
What do you think the biggest challenge this game will be?
Keeping composure. We have kind of a history with Nazareth, obviously, and those games kind of tend to get chippy and a little chirpy. So staying to ourselves is kind of huge, and not getting caught up in everything that's going outside the game.
That's definitely important when you have people like Marquise who switch schools and you're playing against them, to keep that composure and just be chill.
Yeah, he's ultimately just another football player that we have to be prepared for.
We know that Nazareth is coming off of a loss from Freedom, and we lost to Freedom earlier in the season. So knowing that they're coming off of a loss and we're coming off of a win, how do you think this would affect our game?
Yeah, Freedom's a really good team, obviously, as they showed against us and Nazareth. And Nazareth was kind of getting through games pretty easily, and they looked like they had a lot of really good weapons, but I think Freedom kind of exposed some of their flaws. So it helps us out realizing what we have to do, play clean football like Freedom did, and hopefully we can just mimic kind of what Freedom did and come out with a win.
As a captain, Leo, how would you say that you're going to be motivating your team this week and how you have in the past?
A big part of motivation is just energy. Football can be really hard, and sometimes wanting to be there is a struggle. So making sure that you have energy and you're making it fun so other people want to be there just makes everybody else want to be there as well. But I'm only one of 5 captains, and we have a whole group of kids that are, their sole purpose is to make sure everybody wants to be there and motivate everyone, so can't take all the credit for it.
So, spending so many time with your teammates and your captains, what would you say that you love most about being a Parkland Trojan football player?
When you're a football player here, you automatically have like 60 to 70 friends. You see people in the hallways, you can say hi to them. You see them outside of school, you can say hi to them. It gives you a group to hang out with and a group of really good people.
Yeah, that's great, especially for oncoming freshmen. I'm sure it was very easy transitioning into the school and just making friends.
Yeah, especially for young kids, it's really easy.
Looking beyond our high school aspect, what would you say your goals or aspirations are? Are you looking to play football in college?
Yeah. I'm looking to try to play Division III football at a variety of different schools right now. I really haven't narrowed it down to anything specific, but I'm talking to a couple of schools, so hopefully I can make a decision on that pretty soon.
That's amazing, and I'm happy for you. So we're gonna end things with a game for the segment with rapid fire questions that I'm gonna ask you, and try your best to just, as fast as you can, have a response. Favorite football movie?
Longest Yard.
Pre-game ritual?
I always tape my own risks before games.
Go-to hype song before a game?
Ain't No Rest for the Wicked.
Nice. Favorite post-game meal?
Pizza.
Favorite game day tradition?
The end of our special teams meeting with Coach Rouge.
And if you could play any position beside wide receiver, what would you play?
Defensive end.
Nice. Thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate you coming out, especially with the big game and everything. Best of luck to you, and I hope you have a great day.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, of course.